Okay, hi everyone. Just to let you all know, I've been here this entire time. But what are these submissions, guys?
He's lying. He has not been here this whole time.
I have been here this entire time. I've just been letting people
Liar.
join, but like, what the heck have you people submitted, guys? What is some of this? Let me just switch screens for a second. Hello, everyone. Hey, Darkness, thanks for joining.
Of course.
Of course, you couldn't miss out on a chance to bully me, obviously.
Nope. I also wanted to show off something new. I feel like
Ooh,
this
nice.
this Joker PFP is just time. It's time for a change.
Alright. God, what is he gonna change it to?
All right.
What are these submissions as if you were actually expecting a normal chat? Somewhat. Why has everyone gotten weird? Guys.
Yeah. Cope.
It was better, like, it wasn't that bad, like, a few months ago when we were doing, like, I mean, sure, there was some weird ones, but people were mostly rational and submitting interesting topics to talk about. Now, what is this? Oh, yeah, why did Speedwagon die a virgin? What animal meat would you not eat besides people? Boku no Hero, okay. This is your first time hearing Darkness's voice? Yes. It was kind of surprising to me too. Sometimes
yeah,
you get...
more high schoolish.
It's just that sometimes you gain a level of expectation for what someone's going to sound like just purely based on their profile pic, even though like it's never going to like be exactly what you expect. What the heck?
Right. Did it update? Bam!
What is that?
It's my new PFP, man.
Wow. You actually got that custom made.
Oh yeah.
I can't even be mad. It was just like, dang. Was that the thing that you were talking about that you were saying that you were going to commission someone to get on Fiverr?
Yeah, and I also mentioned my new banner, which I love.
Wow. That is extremely petty, and I can't help but respect it. Okay. We're not weird, you're just weird. The easiest way to watch is... Oh, yeah, you guys are talking... Everyone's talking about Monogatari thanks to the fact that I played one of the theme songs for the music.
Yeah,
It was a good song. I like it. That's why I played it. I want more people to hear it. Okay. Yeah, I was surprised hearing Darkness's voice for the first time as well. He sounds like he pulls old ladies. How true is that, Darkness? How true is that?
I'm a weeb, so like, there's some negating of there.
Yeah, it's a bit difficult. There's a few negative points there, but I'm sure he'll get past it.
Yeah.
He's got the Ritz. Okay.
Oh god, who said that? Who said that?
That's chat.
That word is disgusting.
The disgusting word. Okay. Let's look at some of these, shall we? Since I'm sure there's at least one or two in here that can incite some actual discussion. This is linked in the description, by the way, if you want to refresh the page if it's not there for some of you guys. Oh my god. Damn it, I gotta go now. We'll hopefully be back. How long did the chat last? Probably about 2 hours, maybe 3 hours if it's a bit longer. That's usually how long it goes. Whenever I see harems in anime, it takes me out of the story because it doesn't feel real. Yeah, real.
Yes, because harems are the most unrealistic thing in anime.
To be fair, there's different levels of realness. There's obviously things where it's like, oh yeah, this is the main premise. So you just kind of accept that like one big thing that's like completely different. But if it's something like it's a bit closer to real life that like could happen, but it happens in an unrealistic way, then yeah, it makes more sense why it's just like, I can't quite accept this. I don't know. Oh, damn.
Yeah, especially harems in like real life. That okay, I can get to that one. Like girlfriend, ex-girlfriend. Like okay, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Guy's not pulling 3 girlfriends in real
life.
Life.
It's like, especially, it's like, I'd understand it more if the guy actually had like, you know, he had charisma and stuff like that, and it makes sense that he's able to, you know, get all these women to fall in love with him, basically, because like, but like, and I understand why they do it, because like, you know, they need to be relatable so that you can self-insert into the fantasy of being able. It's like, oh, if that guy can get a harem, I can get a harem. Even though it's just like, yeah.
Yep. Hate to break the news to you all, weeps. We ain't getting harems. We'll be lucky if we get one.
Just, yeah. You can't have your standards too high, guys. Just it's like when you feel like the story, when the story feels like it's not written by someone. Yeah, exactly. Because like, it becomes obvious what the writer's intentions are in that situation. That's kind of what it is. Because it's like, in other situations where you just feel like, I'm just experiencing the story. But in these kinds of situations, you just go, yeah, this is obviously something that was like made up for, and as soon as I see that, as soon as I feel like I'm being pandered towards, then it takes me out of it. So that's kind of, yeah, I think that's what it's really is about. It's less about it being unrealistic and more so that it's just, it takes you out of it and makes you remember that this isn't real. The most unrealistic thing about romance anime is the idea that Japanese teenagers are dating instead of being worked to death. I need to see that.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah, okay, human drama needs to feel believable. That's pretty much it. Everything else can be unrealistic. Yeah, that's exactly right. It's like, when it comes to, like, you know, human and personal stuff, I feel like that needs to feel real. But when it comes to, like, the outside stuff that, like, you know, like the space stuff, or if there's fantasy stuff going on, it's like, who cares about that? The world doesn't need to be realistic. It's just that the characters need to feel realistic. I think that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. Just gonna interject. Hey, Brandon, you gotta vote for who would win in a free-for-all battle.
Oh God, is this in Discord?
Yeah, someone actually gave you a vote saying you'd win.
Oh wait, I gotta see this now. Yeah, fanservice takes me out of it, especially in Fire Force. That's a slightly different discussion. I do want to talk about that. Okay, where is that? Where is that in Discord?
Anniversary event. Anniversary event. For those of you who don't know, the Discord is now 1 year old.
Wow, yes. It's an entire year old already. Okay, so, am I scrolling to the top and looking at all of these?
Yeah, these are all the polls we came up with while you did nothing.
Dang, bro. Okay. Well, I want to zoom in a bit more, but I can't. Thanks. Maybe if I put it side by side, we'll be able to see things easier. Yeah, that's a bit better. Okay. Most likely to delete the server by accident. Brandon, Notaku, Danish, or unknown. Oi, screw you guys! Okay.
That one was 100% racket. We all know it's gonna be you.
What do you mean it's gonna be me? Notaku is way more likely to. Oh wait, he doesn't go on the server.
He doesn't do anything.
He doesn't do anything. Sure.
Danish doesn't have the power. Unknown doesn't have the power. So you're.
That literally, that's unfair, bro. If it should be, if you were given owner, then who would be most likely to delete the server by accident.
No, it'd still be you.
It's just the owner. There's no one else you could vote for. Okay, most likely to delete the server on purpose. Nefarious Brandon Notaku. Oh, we're kidding. It's definitely nefarious. I can't blame him on that one. Is Rem mid? Ooh, now this is the real controversies. This is when it really starts. Yes, no, voting yes to piss off darkness. Well, looks like we got you beat there, Darkness, so...
you know what the fucked up part is? I made that poll. I knew what people would do.
You knew what they were gonna do, and you just did it anyways. It's like, what were you expecting? Okay, chat's saying, I wish egregious fanservice was in the form of needlessly badass violence for no reason instead of god-awful gratuitous sexualization. Why not both?
Yeah.
Why not both?
Yeah.
I like... Honestly, I don't particularly care whether it's fan service or not. I just care about whether, like okay, I feel like the problem most people have with fan service isn't the fact that it's fan service, it's the fact that it takes you out of it. It's the fact that it's not funny and that it might be doing something serious only to interrupt it with, like, a dumb joke. And that's kind of the same problem that people have with, like, Marvel jokes and stuff like that. Like, you know, they'd be having a serious emotional moment, and then suddenly they interrupt it with, like, some corny dialogue or something, and people get mad at that. And I feel like that's kind of the same thing with fan service. I don't particularly care whether it's, you know, showing skin or whatever. Like, if they're gonna do that, that's fine. You just gotta, you know, make it not feel like a complete interruption, or like it destroys what it was trying to do. You know, if it can do that, yeah. Wait, what were you saying?
If it interrupts the story, that's when I get out of it.
Exactly.
Like the dreaded Konosuba fan succubus episode.
Yeah. I'm glad we can agree on that. We talked about that before.
It would make sense as an OVA, but it's like
this
no
is a little bit too much.
Yeah, it's because at the end of it, it's like, oh, by the way, the destroyer's coming. I'm like, oh, then did we really need to watch Darkness get bathed?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's not even like... It just felt like out of place, even for Konosuba. And like, they could have easily taken... I feel like they could have easily like put that somewhere else and put in the Dust episode instead, which would have been awesome to see adapted. The one where like basically Dust and Kazuma swap parties, and then Kazuma actually gets to like...
a competent team.
Yeah, he gets a competent team, and he actually has the opportunity to do some cool stuff, which basically shows everyone that, hey, Kazuma is actually kind of a badass sometimes, and then it returns back to Dust's party and stuff with the rest of the girls, and they're just complete failure, and they just instantly get wiped out before the mission even starts, which is a hilarious chapter, and it's kind of a shame that it didn't get adapted, because I'd take that over the succubus episode. But yeah. Okay, I'll get to the submissions eventually, guys. Don't worry about it.
Oh, he's in no rush after seeing
I'm in no rush. Submit some better stuff and maybe I'll be more enthusiastic to get there. Yeah. Okay, how would you define fan service? I think that if fan service is important for the plot to move forward and doesn't take you out, it shouldn't be considered fan service. That's the thing. Fan service is exactly what it sounds like. It's service for the fans. If the fans want to see, you know, the lewdies, they want to see the lewd stuff, then that's fan service. I mean, I don't think just because something is well done fan service, like in shows like Kill la Kill, for example, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's not fan service anymore. It just means that it's well done. Like, fan service used correctly is an amazing human instinct spender. They use your lust to get your attention on something to the plot before the plot happens, so you're not away or paying attention. Yeah, I mean,
I also want to point out, fan service is not just like hot girls.
Exactly. Marvel movies basically is their
Star Wars, they all do it.
Their fan service is just going, hey, let's have this cool moment where we show the characters team up or something, or like, let's have this awesome moment where he finally gets to do this thing, or like, you know, he's saying, Avengers, assemble. That's fan service. That doesn't necessarily,
Star Wars is real guilty of that. If anyone watched that Obi-Wan Kenobi show, that was just all fan service, and I lived for it.
I literally just watched the original trilogy of Star Wars and haven't watched much else, honestly.
Get out of here. What the hell?
Oh, I just watched that and thought, yeah, that's all I really need. I don't really need to watch the sequel trilogy and stuff. I would have been interested in seeing some of the shows like The Mandalorian, but apparently they've like it's been a massive mixed bag lately. Like a lot of people, I don't know. So yeah, Brandon, that's valid. Okay. I don't want to see boobies. I want to see big sweaty men fighting. Honestly, yeah, just whatever. Okay. I think we're pretty sure. Yeah, an example for non-sexual fan service is Dragon Ball Superheroes. I haven't seen that, but what does anyone know what happens in that? Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly, and it really is a shame that they made him into so much more of a blundering idiot. My biggest nitpicking about Konosuba is that it removed a lot of the scenes that show just how competent Kazuma is at his full potential. Yeah,
I don't want to see competent Kazuma.
It doesn't need to be often. It just needs to be like once at the very least to show that he is capable of that. Just he doesn't do it usually. That's really it. If he turns into an actual badass and he's like always doing the competent thing all the time, then yeah, it's not gonna be as fun anymore. But if he just gets like one scene where it's like, wow, he's actually pretty cool, and then it goes back to him being like, yeah, then I think that'd definitely work. And I think we're actually gonna get that in season 3 if they like, you know, adapt it properly.
Nah, probably. But
it's gonna be awesome.
They did hint a little at what's it called? him kind of being badass when he beats the dude with the sword, whatever his name is, I forgot. The other dude who got reincarnated and was like, "Oh my god, you lock in darkness."
Yeah, that guy.
And he's like,
Matsurugi.
yeah. And he just beats his ass by stealing his sword and all that. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that was
That
at least that was there.
Stats are stacked. He can still win.
Yeah, that was good.
honor.
That was good. I'm glad they still kept that in. Also, that was a light novel. That was kind of just a random light novel reference to anyone who like, because basically later on in the light novels and stuff like that, it basically becomes a running joke that nobody can remember that guy's name. And every time he shows up again, they call him a different name. Like, oh, that's the guy, Katsuragi, Matsuragi. And he's just like, it's Mitsurugi. And it gets more and more crazy every time he shows up, and it's pretty funny. But yeah, okay.
Honestly, just forgot his name.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about it. He's just so forgettable. Everyone genuinely forgets his name. But yeah,
I remember his sword, this Grom.
He's the guy with
sword.
Yeah, you can remember the sword better than him. Yeah, the show actually acknowledges that later. Okay, but I'm pretty sure if people don't like fan service, then it's just not for them. They're not the fans the anime is targeted to. There's a lot of people who do genuinely like that stuff. That is true. I mean, it also depends on your level. Yeah, it depends on your level of expectations, honestly. Like, you're not going to go into a show like To Love Ru or something expecting like the deepest story with like actual like with an actual plot and stuff like that that's not fan servicey at all. No, you're going into it knowing exactly what you're getting into. So generally, if it'd be a bad thing if it's not giving you fan service, but in a show like for example that a lot of people went into Mushoku Tensei thinking that it's just going to be this serious story, so when it had the more sexual themes in there, even though in my opinion it wasn't actually fan service, people saw it as fan service and kind of got turned off by that. So yeah.
You want to hear something funny? The Testament New Sister, whatever that show.
Yeah.
I went into that not knowing because I was just told a description of the show.
Oh.
I did not know it was. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh, this is an ecchi. Okay.
I got debated.
Got debated. Yeah. Okay. Wait.
I just go watch it, but I was like, oh god, I got debated.
Yeah.
But I was actually happy to be debated.
Yeah. I mean, that's also kind of how I felt towards Mayochiki. Have you seen that? Mayochiki. It's the one with Konoe Subaru, the girl who was a butler and stuff, the cross-dressing butler.
No, I don't think I've seen it.
Yeah, well, I kind of expected that. I wasn't expecting that to be an ecchi either, but it was like, okay. But yeah, the word fanservice. Okay, this guy makes a good point though. The word fanservice is also often misused as equal to sexualization, but sexy scenes are not always fanservice. For example, Scum's Wish has a ton of hot scenes, but they're important for the plot itself. Yeah, I actually agree with that. Because, like, a lot of people just see, like, anything that's mildly sexual and think that, oh, this is fan service. But I don't think that's it. Fan service is just anything that's done generally to, like, cater towards the fans rather than the story itself. So, generally... Actually, yeah. This is an entire discussion.
Yeah. It is.
Okay, the conversation reminds me about how I've talked about other people who say that Hot Springs bath episodes are inherently sexual. It really depends. Sometimes there's just like a hot spring scenes where like it's not even suggestive in the slightest, where it's just them being there and like there's not actually anything even shown. So yeah, like wait, Lost says, I went into To Love Ru blind, expecting a story. I was very wrong. Oh man. I am so sorry for you.
Some of us get tricked. Some of us get tricked.
Well, what expectations are you going in with?
Oh no, To Love Ru. Okay, yeah, that one. That one to the scene, the actual cover art's like, okay, I should give it away, but
yeah, I mean, it's like imagine going into like Monster Musume or something, and thinking, oh yes, this is gonna be a real story, guys.
It's gonna be a horror show.
Yeah, monsters, like, yeah. Okay, nudity in live action doesn't get the same scrutiny for some reason. Maybe it's how it's shot. Yeah, not gonna lie, I don't. Yeah, in an ecchi is not cute. Okay, in regards to the nudity in live action, yeah, you're right. It doesn't get the same level of scrutiny. And, I don't know. I don't think I've ever once seen, nudity in a live action show or movie ever, and thought that it was appealing. Like, I don't know if it's just me, but like...
Have you not watched Game of Thrones?
Oh yeah, that's true. That's like an exception.
That's like their whole first 3 seasons is like.
Okay, I saw like
story in the background.
Not gonna lie, I watched the first episode of Game of Thrones and never continued it. To be fair, at that point, that was the time period where everyone was complaining about Game of Thrones. That was the point where everyone was saying it got bad, the ending was terrible, and stuff like that.
The ending was terrible.
So I didn't really have much enthusiasm to continue it. I just watched the first episode and that was kind of it. So, and
it was bad.
Yeah.
I tried rewatching it. I already watched the first episode, and I was like, oh, and it, because in the first episode they have like this hint, like this is gonna become super important later, and it just never goes anywhere. It's like, turning it off.
Yeah.
And then you think the final, turning it off.
It's the mystery itself kind of was appealing but like, yeah, as soon as you have answers and know how.
No, we never got an answer. It literally
like,
just went nowhere.
So
no, we're not gonna answer this.
Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, but like in regards to like nudity in live action, like for some reason it's just not like, I don't consider it to be like hot or anything in like movies and stuff. It's totally different when it's like, you know, on the internet and stuff like that. But when it's in movies, it's just, I don't know, maybe it's the way it's shot or something. It's just that's why I never really understood why a movie might just throw in a sex scene all of a sudden, because like I'm not watching it thinking, oh damn bro, this is getting real steamy in here. I'm not. I just thinking, yeah, okay, when is this scene gonna end? That's basically it. That's like, it's just a completely different vibe. I don't know. Fanservice has a different meaning between Japan and the rest of the world. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm skipping a bunch of chat. If I missed something, then you guys gotta post it again. Yeah, the later seasons of Game of Thrones were trashed. The earlier seasons are so much better. I think the only live action stuff that gets scrutiny for stuff is horror movies. Yeah, that's true. I hear horror movies be complained about that. Sometimes fanservice can be annoying without being sexual. Like Amelia thinking she would get pregnant by a kiss. That was pure dumb moe out of place.
I wouldn't even see that as fan service.
That's not
just a
fan
lame
service.
Joke. That's just
yeah,
like a
that was
lame
just
joke.
a joke. I'm just gonna ignore that next comment. Brandon, what happened to your face? You look like Kazum. Really? Brandon doesn't get turned on by IRL nudity massive. No, it's not even that. IRL nudity it's just not in movies. Like, it's just, I don't know. It seems completely different when it's in a movie. Like, it's just, like, I can see that there. And it's like I'm seeing one of those, like, nude stone statues or something. It's like, yeah, okay, I can see a naked body, but it's not like hot or anything, so I don't know.
He sees movies as the art it's supposed to be. People, gosh, get your mind out of the gutters.
I don't know. Maybe it's because of the fact that it's filmed by like this super high quality cinema camera and stuff. I don't know. Maybe it's the color grading. I don't know. Why do I keep getting post-anime depression even though I've watched Toradora like 5 times and know the outcome already? It's just that good, bro.
It's Toradora, man.
It's Toradora.
That's the only answer you need. It's Toradora.
Oh man, okay. I forgot we were supposed to be going through this. Okay. Most useless mod. Now I feel bad for him. Jameson, Bond, Joe, Danish, unknown. This isn't just a massacre.
Oh, if you think they're mean now, they get way meaner.
Oh god, most useless.
Over the course of the weeks, we were like, let's just get meaner and meaner.
Oh god, most useless admin. Nefarious, Notaku. You know you passed Notaku, right? Bob, Darkness, Ethan. Notaku is choice 2. You missed it. And look at this. Okay, 2, 3, and 7 are Notaku. And look who gets the most votes.
And someone still voted for me. Dicks.
Yeah. 5 is like. Yeah, we got 3 people voting for you. You know who to go after now, who to send a hit on.
Mother, they didn't think this through. I could see the outcomes.
Yeah, okay, sex scenes can be used to show a connection and intimacy between humans, like in Terminator. But most of the time, it's just mediocre. Yeah, I get that. But most of the reason it's uncomfortable to me is because of how stretched out it is. Like, it's like, it shows them getting into bed and stuff like that, and sure, you're showing what you need to show. But then it keeps going, and then it's like, why are you feeling you need to like draw this out over like 2 full minutes? Like, I remember when I remember there was this time I watched the original Top Gun, and it happened to, we were watching it like as a family and stuff. I was watching it with my parents, right? Like, they're the ones who put it on, and everything was going fine and stuff. And then Tom Cruise got with the girl and stuff, and they went to bed, and then it just kept going, and it kept going and going, and it was just the most uncomfortable experience, just sitting on the couch next to my parents, and it was equally uncomfortable for the both of us. But like, yeah, it's like, why did it need to draw this out for so long? Oh, okay. Yeah. Hell yeah, Sleeping Toast. Thank you so much. $20 for Rem is mid. Let's go.
No, she's not.
Yes, she is.
No, she's not.
Also, unfair that you say, is Brandon's taste trash, and it's just Rem yes. Mid. Yeah, let's go. Rem is mid. Okay.
Well,
so
funny you say that, and then the next question is your taste trash, and I see a lot of yeses on that one.
Yeah, is Brandon's taste trash? Yes or yes again. But that's the thing. It doesn't really mean anything if there's no. It's just only giving you one option. So that means that you're basically, if you're just giving one option, then it doesn't mean anything.
Oh, so that's the guy who passed the Notaku one. You didn't say anything about that when it was bullying Notaku.
Yeah, but you had other options there. In here you haven't. Yeah, but in here you physically don't have another option, so it doesn't mean anything. Okay. Most likely to turn themselves into a cat, sheep, Wakinator, or fishive. Yeah, whack. Okay. Most likely to drown in manga and light novels if that would be possible. Professor Plague. Yeah, that checks out. These aren't roasts anymore. They're just like, oh yeah, who would win?
At the end.
Who would win in a free-for-all battle? Darkness?
You have 3 votes?
I had 3 votes? That is, like, yeah, because one of them is the bot, but like...
Oh, that's... Even with...
Oh, what?
Voted for you.
It makes sense that you got the most votes, obviously. You were literally in the military, so that makes sense, but like, the fact that people... Oh my god. Okay. I'm at least happy that, like, some people voted for me, so, you know, I'll take that. Least likely to get a girlfriend. Notake! That is me. I'm sorry, Notaku. And Unknown. In second place. Most based old dude. Nefarious, Plague, or Phantom Mob Man. Obviously, it's Plague. Yeah. It's a shame that Nefarious did.
At least a vote.
Yeah, he should have gotten at least some vote. I give him a vote. Most likely to succumb to conspiracy. Okay. Do waifus look better with glasses? I love how this. Where's Notaku? Notaku have better. He didn't see it. See, Notaku, most people can agree that waifus do in fact look better with glasses. This is just gonna piss him off.
Yeah. That's the point. That's why I made it.
Which Konosuba waifu needs her own role? Yeah, okay. So obviously you're not putting Megumin and Darkness on here because they've already got their own role. So Aqua, Wiz, Eris, Chris, or Yunyun. And the one of the most votes was Aqua. For me, I'd actually personally vote Chris, but yeah. Okay.
I'm surprised Yunyun got some votes. Yeah, let's go Yunyun.
Yunyun's fairly popular. She's not like super unpopular.
I thought she would be last. I didn't know Eris would be last so far.
Yeah. Makes sense though. In my opinion, Eris is kind of one of the more boring ones, in my opinion. Yeah, okay. Like I'm not gonna spoil. And then some people might be questioning my choice for this, but like I don't want to spoil, so it's like.
Yeah, I put that into the thing too. Don't spoil.
Yeah, most likely to be promoted soon. Wow. Okay. The most likely is Almost Cheesecake. Yeah, that makes sense. He's been following me on Twitter for a long while now. So like he's been here for quite some time, and he fits in really well. So yeah, who'll experience the banhammer first? Ouch, Tobin. Sorry, Tobin. I'm not gonna. As the owner, it feels wrong to vote on this, so I'm just not going to. But yeah, who will be the first ever?
Hell no! Crack.
To be demoted? Sheep, Wek, Fishiv, Rad, or Darkness. Wait, Sheep can be demoted? I thought he was just like, he was already just a blue name. Or was I wrong in that? How could he get demoted again?
She's casual.
Oh, okay. Mostly are likely to get broken up with Nefarious. Why is everyone so mean against Nefarious? I don't get it. What did he do wrong? He's a good admin.
I'm throwing crack in a timeout. 10 minutes.
That's just not fair, man. That's just... I mean, to be fair, I can't really see anyone voting for Jameson or Ethan either. So, like... Yeah, but, like... It's still a bit mean for everyone to go for Nefarious. See, Nefarious is, like... Well, boys and girls, this theater has been offering you. During that time, we laughed, we talked, we debated. Rem and Darkness, best girls, fight me. Yes, I will indeed fight you. And even plotted the overthrow of a few governments. Now, with the conclusion of a year, some questions still need to be answered. So the mod team is now drafting the masses to answer some of the most age-old questions that still haunt this server, like who is the most cringe? Unknown. This is the chance for the masses to be heard and for the answers to finally be revealed. These polls are all in good fun, should not be taken too seriously. Yes, indeed. Of course. Okay. What's chat going on about? The plot for... Okay. I'm glad I read the spin-off novel for Konosuba before watching the anime adaptation. It was fun and even got me out of my reading slump. Yeah, that's really cool. Let's go. I beat Tobin to getting banhammered. Okay. Okay. Okay, I have infested the Discord server. Yes, indeed you have. Whoa, I wasn't on any of these. Maybe because I've been pretty inactive lately. That was Sabretooth. Yeah, that's true. You've been kind of on and off lately, but that's fine. It's not everyone needs to be super active, so... But yeah. Waifus are better with glasses.
They are.
Me and my mum used to watch Game of Thrones as it premiered, and we had to watch in different rooms because the scenes got so uncomfortable. Yeah, I can understand that. Like, cause like it's not like, it's not like you're protecting your parents from watching the nudity either. They've seen it too. It's just that when it's a parent and a child watching it in the same room, that's when it starts getting uncomfortable. You can both each watch it by yourself, but it's when you're both watching it together when it's why? I'm the founder of the Rem is Mid Foundation. I wouldn't be caught dead, one of Rem's renegades. Based, indeed. Thank you, Sleeping Toast, for being based.
Oh.
How much is that? Like, someone's I think you're keeping count of that on the Discord server. So, if anyone else wants to donate towards the Rem is Mid Fund, please do so.
Don't donate.
Yes,
money.
Donate because purely it'd be even better if Notaku was here. Then you both would be able to react to the donations. No, maybe it's because of the fact that you don't provide as fun reactions as Notaku does, that not as many people are donating right now.
Yeah, because I know the system. You want my reactions.
Yeah, exactly.
So if Notaku,
if you play it calm, you're just inside. You're just seething like. But like, since Notaku isn't here, who just has no filter and will just go, "Hey, stop everyone!" That it's not as fun. It's just not as fun.
Notaku doesn't think like 2 steps ahead.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, the scene in the sex scene in Breaking Bad where Jesse and Walt getting each other was such a beautiful. What?
Wait, what?
I regret reading that. I thought that was going somewhere else.
I've never seen Breaking Bad. So I've never watched it. So,
speaking of Breaking Bad, yeah, there was the scene with Walt and his wife and stuff early on in the first season, and I'm glad. And apparently some people would be like showing it to their parents and stuff, and I've completely forgot about this scene. How there are like at least 2 sex scenes between Walt and his wife and stuff, and just like, oh my god, I completely forgot about that, and I'm showing it to my parents, and this is the most uncomfortable thing ever, because like you don't remember them, but it's like, oh yeah, they're there. Yeah. I refuse to vote in that because there wasn't a no option. Yeah, see, there are people who would have voted no if you provided a no option in the. Is Brandon's taste trash?
Oh yes, we finally got someone who's based in the Discord finally.
Eh?
He says
Where?
Darkness Rem probably under 100 pounds.
Huh? Where?
I'm in the Discord. Our new
In
members.
general?
You don't. Yes. See right there.
Darkness
Right above
Rem
me.
probably under 100. Oh, so someone finally got 3 out of 3, and a 1 out of 3 for me. You should work out. That is based, but the waifu choices are just an L.
Oh, hell.
It's an L.
Not now.
Big L.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, God, watching sex scenes with your parents is one of the most uncomfortable things you could ever experience in your entire life. I'm going backwards in chat, guys. Sorry.
What's one of your favorite? He loves Megumin. He loves Megumin.
Yes, indeed. But wait, I gotta catch up in chat now. Okay. The spin-off. Wait. Okay. Saber's like an on and off relationship. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of Konosuba, the spin-off anime ED had a cute art style. Yeah, it did. I really liked the ED for that is actually really high quality and well animated. I was like, dang, this looks really good. That is, especially for Konosuba, which isn't exactly known for its like stellar animation. So when you see something with that kind of lighting and stuff, it's like bang. It's like, dang, this actually looks really cool. So, okay, $80 to the Remisman Fund. Yes, that's good. Okay. I suffered Outlander sex scenes while watching it with my mom, but leaving at that moment would have been even more awkward for me. Yeah, it's not like you could just stand up and leave. That's even worse. Like, you can't see the submissions. Yeah, okay.
He's not looking at the submissions.
I'm not looking at the submissions. I'm scared of it. Brandon, fix the screen. I don't want to look at the screen. Okay. I like to sit down with my friends and carefully analyze each frame from... Oh my god. Wait, where was that question about asking what my taste was? Where was that? Is that in Discord?
No, it's right there, right above Brandon fix the screen. What's one of your favorite waifus, bro?
Huh? I don't see anything there. Oh wait, okay, now I see it.
There you go.
I was looking at the wrong message. There's several messages asking me to fix the screen. Yeah, okay. Some of my favorites are definitely... Okay. Let me load this up for a second. It is Makise Kurisu, Arima Kana from Oshi no Ko, which is airing right now. Most people haven't... We've only just met her in the anime, but manga readers would know. She is absolute top tier.
That's the former actress, right?
Yeah.
The little child actress girl?
Yeah. She's like she is great. Like we obviously haven't like actually gotten to like meeting her now that like everyone's grown up and stuff after the time skip, but she is top tier, absolutely. Makise Kurisu, also top tier. Megumin Miko from Kaguya, and yeah, I suppose those are my main ones, so whatever.
You have a list, such a weirdo.
It's because I keep forgetting them if I don't. Hi, Brandon. Yeah. Okay. Weirdo. I know it's too zoomed in. That's why I'm gonna switch screens right now. There we go.
See, Brandon, this is where you would have pointed out that I'm the guy who has a list for every week.
Yeah, exactly. Wait, yeah, I forgot about that. You straight up made an entire list for okay. For those of you who don't know, Darkness basically changes his banner every week. Depending on. Not anymore. Why'd you stop?
Did you not see my new banner? I'm keeping this new banner.
What's your new banner?
You said you saw it and thought it was cool.
Yeah, I gotta be reminded. Oh yeah, this one. It's the what? No, I said it was cool because I didn't want to be roasted again for saying that all of them were mid, and they are.
Oh, you shut the fuck up.
We've got Rem, Albedo, Darkness, and Esdef. All of them. All the mid ones. I know Notaku's gonna get mad at me for saying some of them, but all mid.
Go to hell. But yeah, work out for waifu.
Yeah. Brandon Hughes says, I can tell Kana is going to be a fan favorite by how much budget went into animating her eyes. To be fair, they put budget into everyone's eyes. Yeah, Kana is definitely...
Singular. They only went into one eye.
Oh yeah, true. That was in Aqua and that was in Aqua and Ruby. But like for Kana as well, and I especially. eyes. I get it now. Everyone's going, Akane is best girl. No, wrong. You're wrong. Actually,
I have
Darkness
no opinion yet.
Darkness is probably gonna side with them because his taste is trash, but he's gonna side. I bet like Akane is gonna be your choice because like she's the type of girl who'd be like she like I'm not gonna spoil anything for anyone, but I bet she's gonna be like she very much seems similar to a lot of your current waifus, so you know that's. As Diff and Albedo are amazing, you uncultured swine. Uncultured swine? No, they're all mid. All of them. Every single one of them.
Nope.
Mid.
Nope.
They can't get mad at me for stating a fact. Thank you, Bike Rider. Exactly. Don't bring up Oshinoku episode 2. I didn't think it would be out until tomorrow. Yeah, it's out now. It came out a few days ago, actually. Akane and Ruby breast goals. Never. L opinion. Ruby is cool, but like... Okay, does the manga bring up why the main character is named Aquamarine? Nope. It was just her mom giving him like she was just an airhead. She just gave him a silly name.
To be fair, if a 16-year-old named a kid that, I would totally believe it. It is definitely believable.
That is fair. That was just a thing where he's just like, bruh, did she really just call me Aquamarine? And that was it. It never gets brought up again. Fun fact, Ai's name is written in katakana instead of kanji, which is a pun because without the kanji to add meaning to Ai, can either mean love or misery. Oh, that's cool. No spoilers, guys. Please do not spoil. Can you remove that, Darkness?
What?
Any spoilers in chat?
Yeah, I haven't seen any so far.
Okay, chat.
Really?
Okay, what? No, Toilet Man said it.
Where'd you say it? Oh, I see it. I see it now.
Yeah, I can't. For some reason, I can't delete stuff. I can make people moderator though. For some reason.
I can't delete it either.
What? Why? I thought it was just me, but okay. Okay, there. What rank would you put Mai Sakurajima? She is definitely an A tier. Like, I don't think there's much question about that. Okay. I totally want. By the way, Brandon, what did you think of Oshinoko episode 2? You have higher hopes for the next upcoming episodes? Oh, I've already read the manga. Someone brought that up in here actually, so I'll talk about that then. That Discord of yours, it feels dangerously cancerous. Yeah, you're not wrong about that.
And it's glorious.
Okay. Don't make anyone. We are not to be trusted. Yes, you're indeed right there. Okay, Boku no Hero Academia. No. Thoughts on photoshops of anime girls IRL?
What's that even mean?
I suppose that means getting a picture of yourself and then photoshopping in an anime girl next to you and stuff. That thing.
That's cringe.
That's cringe. I don't have much else to say about that. Cringe. Oshinoko episode 2 did not live up to the hype in my opinion. Darkness, have you seen episode 2 of Oshinoko?
Yes, I did. I watched it right after episode 1.
Yeah, well, okay. Okay, not gonna... Okay, first off, what hype for episode 2? I mean, I'd be expecting for episode 2 to not quite reach the same levels of highs as episode 1 did. Obviously, the hype was from episode 1 and everyone getting excited. Yeah, exactly. I mean, generally, even if I didn't read the manga, I'd expect it to kind of slow down there and start setting things up again for them, because it's an entirely new arc. So of course it's not gonna go all insane right off the bat, like episode 1 did. Like, come on. Okay.
I got debated in episode 1.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest. I almost turned episode 1 off.
Really?
I almost turned.
Wait.
Yes,
Okay. First. Yeah.
Idol. I'm just not a fan of idol stuff. I'm like, oh my god, Brandon's making me watch an idol anime, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna try.
Really? I really couldn't see it as an idol anime though. Like, I have different expectations for what most idol anime is. That was more so, oh, she's an idol but for the most part, it's just focusing more on the family stuff or what's going on like behind the scenes. So right, I don't know.
I was literally getting annoyed and I was about to turn it off and just roast you in the Discord. Like, why the fuck did you waste my time making me watch it?
But then you finished it and I was like, oh dang.
Yeah, I was like, oh god damn. I was getting so annoyed with it. I'm like, I don't care. Like when the babies, like, it's not really a spoiler, when the babies were doing the dance, I'm like, god damn it, Brandon, is this what you're into?
Wait, well, now that was hilarious. What are you talking about?
It was hilarious, but I'm like, why is this getting the hype it needs? like the hype wasn't matching what I was watching at first. So.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't. I wish. Okay, I wish there was a way to make it so that something is like everyone's like gonna watch something, like where the word is spread, but at the same time there's like no like super high expectations. It should be, if there was only a way where you could like spread like all like recommend to everyone, it's like, oh, you gotta watch this, and more people actually watched it without raising the expectation levels to be like off the roof. Like that's why whenever I see hype around an anime, I don't generally think that it's going to be the greatest thing ever. I just go, okay, this has a lot of hype surrounding it. I'm going to check it out for myself to see if I think it's good or not. And that's kind of it. And I wish like everyone could kind of do that. Because it's really awkward when you got to try and convince people to watch something while at the same time not raising the expectation levels too much. So yeah. Okay, I don't know if I'd say the Discord is cancerous. It's definitely a tumor, but it feels like a benign one. Okay.
Unless you're Brandon. It's very deadly if you're Brandon.
Yeah, it's deadly for me. So, hey, don't say it's cringe. Photoshopping Dragon Ball Z / Evangelion characters into random places in Mexico is a time-honored Hispanic tradition. Okay, that you know, that's not as bad. I don't know what that is, but it sounds significantly less bad. So. Okay, I loved episode 2. I've never been in so much pain waiting for that next episode 2. Yeah, Oshinoko is definitely an idol anime with drama. I'd actually kind of disagree with that because it's not.
You can't reveal anything without spoiling.
Yeah, because no, I can. It's more so about the entertainment industry, so it's not just focusing on idols. It's also focusing on stuff like acting, theater, and social media especially. Like it's focusing on a lot of different aspects, and it just starts off with mostly focused on idols as its main focus. But it's not. It's kind of wrong to just describe it as an idol anime, and that's like it. Yeah, Oshinoko is just an idol anime in the same way that Gaku Garashi is just a high school slice of life. I haven't seen Gaku Garashi, but I suppose. Okay. Ever since I watched Perfect Blue, my views on idols has changed. Oh yeah, I haven't seen Perfect Blue. I need it.
Never.
Yeah.
Never even heard of it.
Yeah, Evangelion is just a mecha, Kaguya-sama is just a school rom-com, Nichijou is just a comedy, Mushoku Tensei is just an isekai. Yeah, I'd say these are solid comparisons. It's like Oshinoko is an idol anime in the same way that those anime is just this genre. It's like, no, it's not. I'll definitely give it a watch with them thanks to the recommendation. Brandon, what does that mean? Brandon is I. Okay, no, don't. Brandon Perfect Blue might be my favorite anime ever made. Okay. Yeah. Evangelion is definitely just a mecha show. Not really. I mean, I'd say it is for like 80% of it. Yeah, that makes sense. But then it just goes completely off the wall and it's just like, nah, this is not a mecha at all. So, next one. But like, yeah, I don't really... I just wish people wouldn't listen to the hype, but would at the same time would watch the show when people recommend it. Like, just go in with curbed expectations. Don't go in thinking, man, this is gonna be the next greatest thing ever. Like, it is. If it's for you, it's for you. If it's not for you, then it's not for you. Just yeah, it's a hard thing to balance, you know. Steins Gate is a Chunibyo slice of life.
What also throws people off is the first episode being 90 minutes, so it's like, this is a commitment.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you hate it, it's like, I wasted 90 minutes. And like, I was about to be mad at you when I was...
Yeah, I mean,
made it like 45,
I'm glad it was a 90-minute episode though, because like if it wasn't, then people would just watch the first episode and then quit on it.
Oh yeah, I would have quit if it was just the first 30 minutes.
Exactly.
Like, okay,
that's why I'm glad they made it like they adapted that first arc into a full 90 minutes, because like in retrospect, it becomes way better when you look back on everything. It's like, oh, that's what it was trying to do. Like, yeah. I do agree that Oshinoko is definitely not just an idol anime, but it's definitely an idol anime that's surrounded by other stuff, which elevates it to not just another idol anime. Okay, sure. Okay.
Let me... 60 responses now? Oh god.
Oh god. Just watch your Nichijou video again and notice the hentai sauce on your shirt at the end. that was the infamous one. That was the infamous codes. That only select few people would understand.
I'm glad I didn't understand it. Sicko.
Wait, you haven't seen that? Wait, you haven't heard of it? That 1777013 one, if I'm remembering the numbers right.
No, never heard of this.
You haven't heard of it? Wow.
I'm not that degenerate, unlike you and Otaku.
It's not even. It's kind of it's less of a degenerate thing and more of a famous meme thing, and also is one of the most grotesque, but also one of the most emotional stories that I've ever read. And it's a hentai, and it is completely different because I legitimately couldn't read it for the spicy scenes. It's because the plot was actually like really, it was really good, but at the same time it was like, it's like a car crash that you couldn't look away from. Like, you just have to keep reading it to see how it ends.
So it's a dumpster fire?
Kind of. It's a well-written dumpster fire, kind of. Strangely enough, it actually kind of reminded me of Parasite, the movie, the Bong Joon-ho movie. Have you seen that?
That's the South Korean one where the
yeah.
like, yeah.
It kind of reminded me of that, where it's like really dark and depressing the further it goes along, but it's also like really well written. That I know it's an insane comparison to make, but it kind of reminded me of that. Okay, how is Kaguya-sama any more than a high school romance? Because of the way it's presented, it's presented completely differently than most high school romance anime. Like, you can't, like, Darkness, what do you say on that? Because, like, Kaguya-sama, it's just...
it's pretty good. See, when I think typical high school romance, my mind goes to Hori Miya.
Yeah, exactly.
But with Kaguya-sama, I see it more as a comedy with romance in it because it's just
exactly.
It's just hilarious.
It's just presented completely differently than most high school romance anime, you know?
Yeah, the comedy I think just comes first. In Kaguya-sama.
Exactly. Okay. I see Osu in your taskbar. What's your rank? I forgot. I haven't played it in ages. Okay, metamorphosis moment. Yeah. 177013. I've read it and it's just utterly awful. Yeah, it is awful, but like it's okay. Half the plot beats in one. Yeah, I did. Nah, please don't say that in the chat. And it's the length of an entire manga volume. It does get you emotionally invested, but it's hard to sit through. Yeah, it is. That's the thing about it. It does have you emotionally invested in it.
I deleted that and it still shows up on your thing. What the heck?
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes the cat. Okay. I could play the. Okay, Brandon, have you seen Eminence in Shadow? Nope, I don't plan to. Sorry.
I have Eminence in Shadow.
Of course. You guys, Brandon Hughes baited me last. Brandon Hughes baited me last stream. He was like, "Oh, you should watch this anime," and he just gave the Japanese name for Eminence in Shadow, and provided a slightly different explanation for what it's about. And I was like, "What? I don't really get it." And then I just searched it up, and I was like, "Oh, god damn it! It's Eminence in Shadow again."
You got you baited.
I got you baited. It's also okay. Okay, Brandon, do you know any anime that are a combination of both dark fantasy and psychological horror? I know this is a specific question. Unfortunately, yeah, that's about the only thing that I could think of, honestly. I haven't seen... Yeah, it is a very specific question. I haven't seen that many like that. I am Atomic. I've heard that so much every time Eminence of Shadow is brought up. Brandon,
you're just jealous.
Yeah, Brandon will watch Konosuba, but not Eminence of Shadow. Shaking my head. Yes, that is exactly right. I will indeed watch Konosuba, but not Eminence. Because you see the difference is that people generally, when they talk about Eminence as Shadow, they say that it's good, but in a trashy kind of way. They say that, like, it's a trashy isekai, but an enjoyable one. Where with Konosuba, most people just generally say that it's actually, like, unironically good. So I feel like that's kind of the difference. So, yeah, Brandon, will we continue reading these very appropriate submissions? Yes, we will now. Okay. Okay, why did... I'm just gonna ignore that one. What the heck is that? What cooked animal meat would you not eat? I don't know, ones that seem super strange and out there, probably. What is this question, guys? What is your favorite anime / manga? Because I'm very curious. Probably Steins Gate. I have a list of my favorites.
Oh, another list.
Yeah, I make lists of everything. I'm super organized.
See, you guys are lame. Making lists. I just get them tattooed, so I never have to forget it. I just look at my arm and go, oh.
Isn't that
yeah,
in
that's one of my
itself
favorites.
a form of a list?
No, because these are pictures. It's like a picture book.
Lists can still be made up of pictures.
Oh yeah,
kind of.
You all have my anime list. I have my anime arm. That's how.
Based, okay.
If we go off my anime arm, it's AOT, ReZero.
Yeah, AOT
Comic
is
Book.
definitely up there. Some of my favorites are Steins Gate, Toradora, A Silent Voice, Konosuba, obviously. A Place Further Than the Universe, actually. Hunter x Hunter, Attack on Titan. Kaguya-sama Kaguya the movie, the Kaguya-sama movie, and the first episode of Oshinoko. Those are probably some of my favorite anime that I have so far.
Angel Beats. I'm running out of space.
We're gonna have to see how I react to Angel Beats.
The only bad part about the anime arm is it's very inefficient.
Yeah.
In terms of space.
Yeah, you gotta look everywhere. It's like, oh, this here. Like, I may make a mistake. Instead of doing schoolwork, I'm watching Brandon, but I can't leave. I enjoy the stream too much. L. And
That sucks for you.
but thank you for enjoying the stream regardless. But Made in Abyss is a psychological horror. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. How could you have forgotten about that? Yeah, I gotta check that one
I
out.
haven't watched it.
I definitely gotta check Made in Abyss. Wear a base darkness moment. I got a Ouroboros tattoo on my arm that was inspired by Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Okay.
I'm always based.
Yeah. Okay. Hello all. Hopes everyone had a radical day. Hello Laura. Great to see you dropping by again. Always good to see you. Okay. Next one. What's your currently watching ecchi anime this season? None, because I'm not gonna watch an ecchi anime if it's airing generally, especially. It's like, nah. Please don't.
Is there any even out?
Yeah, I didn't even hear any that are coming out this
The
season.
only one that came out last, like I guess it's already done, is the dog one.
Yeah, and
I watched it.
and that other anime that was made by the same studio who made Mushoku Tensei. That was would Onimai count as an ecchi anime, since I feel like it's a bit too wholesome for that, but whatever.
Never even heard of it.
That's fine. But yeah, I suppose those are the most recent ones that I've heard of. Aside from that, I haven't heard of anything coming out this season. Let's be honest for a second, we're never getting a Chainsaw Man season 2. Why? Do you really think
Definitely did well. That did so well in the Western market. That thing's a money machine.
I don't think they're not going to make a Chainsaw Man season 2. Why wouldn't they? That was like a huge. There's a huge amount of hype behind that, and like Tatsuki Fujimoto it's too big at this point to not have an anime adaptation. Why would it not get an anime adaptation for season 2? I don't get it. Okay, why did you give Cyberpunk Edgerunners a 10 out of 10? I feel like I'm missing something when people call it a masterpiece. I feel like it was great until episode 6, and post time skip it fell apart narratively. Also, Rem over Lucy. Well, in my opinion, both of I don't really feel anything towards them, so whatever, I'm not gonna comment on that. And Cyberpunk Edgerunners was absolute, like, okay, Darkness, have you seen Cyberpunk Edgerunners?
Nope.
No, you haven't?
Nope.
Okay, I'm just gonna say stuff without spoiling anyways. Brandon, have you ever, okay, wait a second. Damn, chat. Okay, but like, in regards to, why did I give a Cyberpunk Edgerunners a 10 out of 10? Because, like, okay, it's like a big part of it was definitely the ending. The ending was one of the most hard-hitting things that I've seen, and especially just that final shot. It just tied everything together like so well. Like, I don't know, maybe if I watched all of Cyberpunk Edgerunners without watching the last episode, I probably would have given it like an 8 out of 10. But that final episode definitely propelled everything into the 10 out of 10, because it basically, like, yeah, it made Cyberpunk Edgerunners for me, that last episode, especially like with that final climax. Yeah, you could say that it was great until episode 6 and post time skip. But I didn't really feel like it fell apart narratively after the time skip. I feel like Studio Trigger are like the only ones who are able to pull off a time skip like 2/3 of the way through a show and be able to do it well. But like that's big, and the reason that is because it already resolved everything that it needed to before the time skip, and it was just kind of done after that. So after the time skip, then it started its own arc and followed that through to its completion, and it did everything it needed to within that time skip very well, compared to something like Erased, where it's like there was still stuff that needed to be resolved after the time skip, so it felt unsatisfying, and there was only like 2 episodes after that time skip, so it was barely enough time to set anything up. So I feel like Cyberpunk Edgerunners does things differently because it actually has time to like properly set up that arc and go through with it all, and like properly tied up everything that needed to happen, whereas Erased didn't. So that's the main difference. Okay, listen to Yuno's Miles Money in the Bag on stream and rate it 1 out of 10, but be prepared because it's fire like Konosuba and Toradora. Sorry, I don't feel like it. I don't even know what that is.
I have no idea.
Yeah, if you ever... Okay. Oh wow, Laura has a back piece tattoo of a manga panel from Akira. I want to do more anime stuff, but can't decide. My biggest one is maybe Mob Psycho 100. Oh, that is based as well. Okay.
Oh, you call Laura's tattoos based, but all I get is you calling my tattoos mid.
I called your tattoos based as well. It's just it's just your choice in waifus that you had to put on as tattoos are mid. But the tattoos themselves, like, yeah, okay, I can respect that. But if you ever had the budget and skill to make an anime, what would it be about? I had an idea of an anime that's basically a horror isekai parody. That is actually an interesting question. And the answer would be that, like, this has actually been something that I've been wanting to do for a long time. And it's not something that I actually want to do as an anime, but more so just a Western anime inspired Western animation series, and that's on books that I read as a kid that I really want to see be brought to life through animation. And some of those were stuff like Wings of Fire, Warriors, and like there are a lot of book series that I grew up on that like I remember fondly, and I really want to bring that to life through animation, since I feel like the animal fantasy genre would work really well if it was adapted into animation compared to live action, which they've kept doing. Like stuff like Guardians of Ga'Hoole, actually. Like they adapted that into a more realistic 3D animated movie and stuff. But like I don't want it to turn it into a movie. I want it to be turned into an actual like TV. I want to turn it into a series so that like you can actually properly adapt everything and not just cut all this stuff out. So yeah, that's probably what I'd do. I'd want to do adaptations of books and do it properly. Okay, Edgerunners was beautiful. Yep, indeed. Okay, they haven't announced it yet and Blu-ray sales aren't high. He probably lost all hope over season 2, so it's gonna take too long. Oh, this is about Chainsaw Man. Yeah, I really don't think that. I think Chainsaw Man is too successful to not get a season 2. Just because it wasn't announced like straight away, I don't think it's not big. It's not like it's never going to happen. Like we had to wait some time after ReZero season 2 to wait for a ReZero season 3 announcement, which just came out recently. So I don't think it's probably just generally happens because the production staff already has a bunch of anime that they've got to adapt that's on their plate, so they don't have time for that just yet. But as soon as they do have time, they're going to adapt more Chainsaw Man. I really don't. I can't see a future where they don't adapt Chainsaw Man season 2. I really just can't, honestly. It's too big at this point to not have that. Yeah. The story of Edgerunners was harrowingly beautiful. It felt like everything came together perfectly, and yet was still surprising enough to have a huge effect. Yeah. It always made me go outside out of how frustrating the ending is. Indeed. That stuck with me for days after I watched it. I was just like, but yeah. Whatever happened to Studio Shaft? Have they done anything recently? They had some awesome shows. Huh, interesting. What did Studio Shaft do?
I don't know studios.
Yeah, neither do I, but like I'd probably recognize them based on... Oh, they made Monogatari. Okay. They made a lot of the Monogatari series. That makes sense. Oh, and Madoka Magica as well. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I haven't kept up with this sort of thing, so I can't really judge. But
Literally I'm so far I've not seen a single anime I've watched.
You haven't seen a Monogatari?
No, that seems like
There's Nisekoi.
different shows and all that.
There's Nisekoi here.
Okay.
Have you seen Nisekoi?
Okay. Nope.
Oh, okay. I thought you watched that.
But based on what I'm seeing, they do a very specific. Oh, did that? Okay. It looks like they focus like on high school slice of life stuff. Slash Shojo.
Not really. I wouldn't classify these as shoujo high school
Some
stuff.
of these look like
More so,
Shojo.
I'd say they're more on the stranger side of things, like the. I suppose Magical Girl would probably be. Not even that. There's the Magical Girl thing. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I get what you're getting at. From a lot of this though, yeah.
Yeah, these are just first glimpses. Again, I haven't seen any of these. So.
Yeah. I feel like that a lot of these are the type. They stick to the similar type of show where it's like, you know, a lot of it's focused on. It's like kind of fantastical and stuff. With girls, but it also has a darker element to it. That's what a lot of this seems like. So yeah. But yeah, wait a second.
Wait
a second. Okay, I gotta read through chat. Sorry. It just felt rushed. I felt like I was missing something after episode 6. There's so much other better anime out there. Personally, I didn't really feel that way. I don't know. Maybe it's because I wasn't super emotionally invested into it, like the same way I was with Erased. But I felt like it tied everything up, like everything it needed to. So there wasn't much that I was expecting it to happen that didn't happen. Yeah. It wasn't, yeah, okay. Seinen romance manga is so hard to find, it even harder to find an anime. Do you have any recommendations or even series you know about? Sorry guys, if you're looking at me for recommendations, you're looking at the wrong person, since I'm still catching up on recommendations.
Wait, they said seinen romance?
Seinen romance.
What?
There's quite a few seinen romances, aren't there? Like...
The only one I can think of is like Future Diary, just because it's seeing and the murdering.
Yeah, but that's the thing. There are plenty of regular romance series that are just like you'd probably assume are shonen, but they're seinen.
Okay.
Like My Dress Up Darling is a seinen. It's just a demographic.
Okay. So you want that kind of romance?
Not necessarily even that. Like even if it doesn't have a lot of fan service, it could just be a regular romance, and it's published in a seinen magazine. Like, I'm quite sure Horimiya is a shonen or something like that, but even shows like that, it's just a different it's just whatever magazine it was published in, honestly.
Well, I don't know the magazines these things are published in.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes, especially when it comes to regular, more grounded type romance. Because, like, there's not a huge amount of separation between, like, the more shonen romances and the seinen romances. Because it's like, sometimes they're just, yeah, like that. Okay, I'm thinking of getting comment time from your name tattooed on my upper thigh, but it'd be really long and painful because of all the color. Yeah, okay. Subscribe to Brandon, make the idea happen. Let's go. Maybe at some point in the future, like in several years. Watakoi is Josuke, is Josei. I really just said Josuke. Is Josei, but I think you'll like it. Yeah, I'm checking out more Josei anime and more like I just started watching Chihaya Furu, which is my first like shoujo / Josei anime. So yeah, I don't really like that. That's cool. Coincidentally enough, another anime idea of an anime I want to make is an animal fantasy. Yeah, that's cool. That's Mappa. Okay, Eminence. Yeah, okay. Eminence the Shadow Season 2 was announced before Season 1 ended. Yeah, but that's different. That's different studios have different circumstances. Like, I don't think they're necessarily like, whenever they say, oh, we haven't announced, whenever they don't announce a new Season 2 straight away, that doesn't mean that they've completely given up on it. It just means that they've already got a bunch of stuff that's on their lineup, and they aren't quite ready to announce that they're going to do it just yet. It doesn't mean they never plan to. It just means it's probably going to take a bit of time. We don't know what circumstances the studios are going on behind the scenes. Okay. Yeah, lads, have you... Yeah, exactly. Lads, have you seen the new... Ah, shut up! Lads, have you all seen the new Megumin spin-off? It was quite good for a spin-off. Yeah, that's pretty good so far. I gotta watch episode 3 of that. I'll
I
probably
watched the first half of episode 1 and I turned it off.
yeah, because you just think that it's
No,
Megumin. How dare
no,
they?
it's actually the Chunibyo, all the Chunibyo they were doing. I'm like, oh my god, this is so cringe.
Really? That was what turned you off?
Yeah, so much. So, like I said with the Chunibyo Love Delusions, how it took me days to finish a single episode. I'm getting the same vibes. It's like, oh my god, so
To me, I
much
thought-
Chunibyo.
To me, I thought it was funny how everyone was a Chunibyo except for Yunyun, where everyone's just treating it as if it's completely normal, and she was the only one there
Yeah,
who was just embarrassed to do it. I thought that was funny, but like I didn't
I
find
can
it that
handle
bad.
Konosuba because Megumin's the only Chunibyo. I'm like,
Oh, so
okay.
you just hate Chunibyo in
I
general?
hate Chunibyo so
That's
much,
a
but then
that explains
series
so
is all
much. That's the
Chunibyo,
only
I'm like,
reason you
oh.
don't like Megumin.
I also like Darkness over Megumin.
Yeah, but like that's the thing. Darkness obviously doesn't have an. Megumin's the only Chunibyo, so that's why you don't like her. For me, I don't mind Chunibyo because like it's fun. Like whenever they don't give a crap about what other people think and just are acting like completely free, I like that. Is
No, yeah, maybe it is because I also don't like what's her name from that Chunibyo Love Delusions.
Rika.
Rika. Oh god, I can't stand Rika.
And here goes another thing that like I feel like we're discovering how a lot of people on the Discord server has our own irrational thing that just like that we just can't stand. For Notaku, that's glasses. For Nefarious, it's short hair. For you, that's Chunibyos, and for me, that's the simps. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Lot of lore.
got a lot of lore here, guys. Hey, quick question. You get isekai and become the most generic MCU what you doing? First defeat all the work on your grammar, dude. Okay, defeat all the powerful people and get all the women, or something boring like talking to people. Something boring like talking to people, indeed, because I'm a boring person. Okay, don't watch Nisekoi. It throws away writing in the name of dragging this story. Yeah, I don't have much interest in watching Nisekoi right now, so I don't know. Oh man, I'm far behind. Sorry, I'm gonna catch up.
We are far behind on everything. You probably should have locked the thing. We're keep getting more submissions.
Oh god, I should probably lock it now. I'm gonna lock it now. Thank you guys. Okay. Seinen is usually seen way less fanservice and less dumb. Yeah, it's for a slightly more adult audience. And generally, they don't need to feel they can take things slower as well sometimes, where shonen needs to be like super fast paced, where seinen like generally like tends to trust its audience a little bit more to have more of an attention span. So yeah, and it can be a bit more complex as well. Okay. Sorry. The two top-rated seinen of all time on Mal are both by Aka Akasaka right now. Oshinoko is number 1, and Kaguya-sama Ultramagic is number 2. Plus Kaguya movie is number 4 too. Oh wait, I didn't think. Is Kaguya-sama a seinen? I think it is actually. Wait a second.
Would make a lot of sense.
It is. It's a seinen. How did I not know
Really?
that?
Interesting.
Wow. But yeah, how did I not like recall that? But yeah, as someone who was an 8th grader at a point in life, I enjoy Megumin. Yeah, I mean, it's yeah. Okay. Yeah, I must say, to be honest, Megumin is a great character, but I just love how she expresses her happiness with her friends and explosions as well. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of what I saw it as. I didn't really see it as, like, being cringe and stuff. I just saw it, like, as with everyone in Konosuba, everyone's just being super expressive to be themselves and just do whatever, like, and to just be unashamedly themselves. That's kind of what I love about everyone in Konosuba. Everyone just doesn't have a filter and just is free to be, who they are, essentially, and that's what I like about Megumin. She's just super happy about her explosions, and she's just super expressive of that. So yeah.
No Chunibyo. Oh god.
God, the MC really likes to go easy on Rika. If I were him, I'd show her what true pain really is. I thought the most enjoyable parts of that was whenever everyone's just bonking her on the head for being silly and stuff. I thought that was enjoyable. I didn't particularly care about like the Chunibyo stuff, like, so yeah. Okay. Oh man. Another person that uses Brave? I've never met one. Oh yes, Laura uses Brave based. I feel like half the jokes on Kaguya-sama are funnier if you actually have some experience, so it makes sense as a seinen. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Kaguya-sama pretty much had to be seinen considering all the advanced language orogane and shinome use. No one in the shonen age range is gonna remember all those complex kanji. Oh, okay. I never really thought about that. But yeah. And yeah, it is pretty dialogue focused and stuff. But yeah. Okay, Feverine equals mommy? I have no idea I don't know what that means either. I'm just gonna continue. It's been getting boring only hearing everyone talk about who's the best girl in ReZero and Konosuba. Oh, how did you guess? But who is the most obscure character who you would say is best girl outside of those series? Someone who you haven't had a chance to talk about. Ooh. Probably Arima Kana, but I already mentioned her, so... Man, sorry.
Gotta look at the arm. Let's see.
I definitely bring in Kana from Oshinoko. She's definitely going to be top tier. From someone who's read manga.
I gotta pull up my list.
Some slightly more obscure ones would probably be okay, this one's gonna sound completely out of left field because like I've never actually seen any idol anime and stuff or like played any of the games or anything like that, but like this is just based purely on how much fan art there is and stuff like that. That'd be Madoka Higuchi, Madoka, or however you pronounce her name. She is super cute. Same thing with Hu Tao. I haven't even played Genshin, but it's the same kind of thing. What are some other like underrated ones that I don't think as many people are bringing up?
Problem with my list is yeah.
Tattooed on your body.
No, I have my actual list for my weekly thing, but they're all very similar.
Okay. Oh yeah, Konoe Subaru. She's also super great. Girl in the suit is just like, whenever it's like, yeah.
I got one I'll bring up that people won't suspect from me.
Oh, okay.
Tsukasa from Tonikawa.
Oh, yeah. Tsukasa.
Like,
she is great. She actually is like actual waifu material because you know she's a wife, so that fits. But yeah, that is actually.
You wouldn't expect that one from me, but yeah, she's pretty great.
I mean, what's unexpected about it? Is it is it because of the art style and stuff?
No, it's because it's from me.
Ah, yeah, you're more into like twisted psycho types. So
yeah,
when you get a character who's like super wholesome and stuff, it's like it's like what? Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah. Me whenever watching Rika getting smacked in the face, my happiness is immeasurable and my day has been made. Yeah, actually, yes. That is actually super great. Like, I feel like that's the one thing everyone can agree on. Whenever Rika gets smacked in the face, it's just the greatest thing ever. And it's but yeah, I think Psyche is also better if you're older. I absolutely love it. My 18-year-old son, not so much. We usually have the same taste. Really? That is a bit different. Psyche, like, I considered Psyche to be a bit more of a thing that Gen Z would appreciate rather than older people. Because like for me, it was the exact opposite experience. Me and my little brother, we watched Psyche and we thought it was hilarious, and you know we showed it to her mom, and she still enjoyed it, but she wasn't laughing as much because like she didn't find it as funny and stuff. Which you know, is fine. She didn't think it was bad, but she just. Yeah, she wasn't laughing as much as me and my little brother were at it. So, I don't know. Just different taste in comedy, I guess. Brandon, can you give your thoughts on Assassination Classroom? Ass class. I don't have any thoughts on it because I haven't seen it yet.
I got a tattoo of Koro Sensei.
Nice.
That was my first... I would say that's the anime that got me into anime because I had watched Attack on Titan before it, but... Like before I joined the military, I watched Attack on Titan. Joined the military, never watched anime again.
I know it probably wasn't because of that, but like the fact that Attack on Titan is like super patriotic and like very war focused, and then you just joined the army right after that. Like, did you just see Attack on Titan go, dang, bro, this army thing seems kind of cool. But no, if anything, is the opposite.
Brainwashed from long time ago.
If
favorite
anything,
movie as a child is called Starship Troopers.
oh, I've heard of that one. I haven't
Yeah,
seen
now
it.
that's a movie. It's a heavy satire movie, so it's not meant to be taken serious. But when you were 6 years old watching the movie, the satire doesn't become satire, it becomes propaganda, and you believe it. I used to joke that my mom made me watch military propaganda because I watched that movie as a kid.
That's the funny thing, because Attack on Titan is it kind of is more so to show like the horrors of war and stuff like that, which would, for most people, would like discourage them from joining the military. So the fact that you joined it right after, like soon after watching Attack on Titan, is just like, yeah, I'm gonna do it anyways.
Yep, I watched Attack on Titan, joined the military, never watched another anime again except for Attack on Titan. And then COVID hit. When I got out of the military,
I'm gonna cut.
Hit.
Yeah. It's like,
COVID
I'm
hit,
finally gonna catch up.
No, I watched it again when COVID hit because we're all at home, we have nothing left to do.
Yeah.
And fucking Hulu autoplay kept wanting to play Assassination Classroom after it. Now, no matter what show I finished, it would say, "You're
ass class. Watch it. Please watch it."
One day, the remote was like on the other side of the couch.
This
was a show like.
It really is.
I'm not gonna reach.
I'll just let it play.
And so I watched Assassination Classroom. I watched the first episode, then the second episode, then the third, then the first season, then the second season. Then I rewatched it, and then I called my buddy, and I'm like, "Dude, what's this anime thing?" And he's like, "Oh, dude, watch this." And
he's like, and down the rabbit hole you go. No saving him.
Yep, it was Hulu autoplay got me into anime because it was like, I don't want to.
Oh, thanks Hulu autoplay. You're the one who started this all. So I'm a rabbit hole that he can't escape from. I love how Megumi doesn't see her living with situation being poor as a bad thing and tries to make the best of it. An example of this is her being proud when giving a sandwich to her sister. Yeah, that's super admirable. She doesn't particularly like resent people for like, she's just like, yeah, I'm gonna make the best out of this situation. And there was actually like a super wholesome thing as well, where it's revealed later on in the light novels. She was like, she just like, it's actually really nice that like whenever she gets money from Kazuma and stuff, she doesn't even like really care about using it that much for herself, so long as like whatever is like whatever she needs to like eat and stuff, and like that's all she really needs, and then she's just kind of sends the rest of the money back to her family and stuff. That is like super nice and stuff. And like she also like, yeah, later on in the light novels and stuff, it's revealed that she actually has a bunch of coupons and stuff like that in her wallet, and like she basically helps Kazuma out by giving her the rest of her money when he gets kicked out. So that was cool. But yeah.
Wait, she's a what's it called? She's actually extreme couponer.
Yeah, that was actually like some great characterization. It's like she actually like keeps track of all that thing. And as soon as people saw that, I was like, oh yeah, she is actually waifu material here. This just proves it. That's exactly the sort of thing that like a wife would do for Kazuma. So, you know. Okay, Brandon, can you be my idol? What is this? I'm pretty sure. People praising me? Just absolutely, that is weird. The armpit, what? Okay. Oh god, how did I not notice that on the screen? I gotta answer some of these so that's not on the screen anymore. Okay, a chess animated like Nichijou would be dope. I feel like that's kind of Chihaya Furu right now. Like it's like, yeah. I'm gonna skip that one. No, thank you. Is Darkness Mid? Yes.
Where are you at? I'm lost. Oh, you're talking about that one.
Yeah. I'm just skimming through them so that I don't have to see that armpit question anymore on screen.
I was going to chat. I'm like, where the heck are you reading this?
Yeah,
stuff?
Sorry. Okay, I'm gonna go back to chat now. What's the subject? I dropped in late. I'm just switching between subjects. I'm just reading chat right now.
Yeah.
Please don't tell me it's treating waifus again. I'm sorry, Laura. It was. Okay, Tsukasa from Tonikawa? Yeah, she is. Okay. I'm just gonna skip to the most recent chat. Okay. Yeah, I know.
Says chat disconnected.
Oh yeah, we're talking about Assassination Classroom. Yeah, I think there was some controversy about being banned somewhere. Like apparently it's like encouraging you to like
Florida,
kill your teacher or something like that. I was like, no, it's a bit different from
Florida.
that considering that he's an alien. So
Yeah.
oh, it's Neko Brandon loving Shisha. Okay. I think they just saw the synopsis and went, murder? That's not good. Ban this.
Yeah, it's Florida, man.
Completely forgets the alien part. Okay, Brandon, you converted me from darkness horniness to Megumin's batshit joy. Yeah, let's go.
No.
Thank you.
No.
She's just so great. You can't.
She's not great. Chunibyo is not great. God. Okay, maybe it is. Maybe it is the Chunibyo stuff. Because
I
like
think
I said,
it is.
the whole,
I think it
once I
literally
got
is.
into it, but yeah, like
What were you gonna say?
Half the episode made it half the episode before I'm like, there's too many Chunibyos doing this.
Yeah, I think you just dislike Chunibyos. Is it because it reminds you of yourself, or is it just because like you just don't like Chunibyos?
I think it reminds me a little bit of the cringe I used to go through in high school and middle school. I was never an anime as we Chunibyo, but I was a military Chunibyo. I'll fucking call myself out to that.
Yeah, I mean,
and then I think it just enforces when I see Chunibyo, it just makes me think that character is a child or something. So like when someone's like waifu, I'm like, oh god, it's disgusting.
yeah, I mean, but like adults can be Chunibyos as well. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
making me don't look like an adult.
For me, I never saw it as that. I just saw it as people being expressive with whatever they like, and is stream lagging? Apparently, people are struggling with it.
That's bad.
Oof. How do I fix this? God, how am I supposed to fix this, guys? I'm sorry.
Fix it, Brandon.
It stopped
It
for a
stopped.
second.
Okay.
It's back now? Okay, so I don't need to do anything, right? Maybe a bunch of people are just quitting and rejoining, or something like that. I hope. Okay. But yeah, whenever I see that, like, it's not okay. I don't know, maybe if it's just me, because like when I was in school and stuff, I wasn't really that cringe at all. I was actually more so like I was more so just like didn't talk as very much to people, so there wasn't like, yeah, I don't know. I just spent a lot of my time reading and stuff and doing whatever it is, like just quietly. So there wasn't really much opportunity for me to be like super cringe and stuff. So whenever I see someone being a Chunibyo, I just see it as, damn, I wish I could be as expressive as they are. that is cool. So I just kind of have weird kind of respect for that. So I don't know, just like being able to not care about other people's opinions and stuff. Like, dang, how do you do that? Just not caring about what other people think.
There's a difference between not caring about what other people think and acting like a fool.
Yeah, but it's Konosuba, man. Everyone's acting like a fool.
like I like to say, like when I go to the gym and wear my anime tank tops, that's me just not giving a hell what anyone says.
Yeah, that's in the same boat as me.
But me going to the gym,
yeah, but that's real life
or something like that. That's fucking.
That is fair,
cool.
But there's also a difference between real life and anime to me. When I see it in anime, it's different if I also see someone doing that in real life. Whenever I hear a story about someone doing something cringe in public, then it's like, yeah, I think, oh my god, I can't believe they just did that. But in Konosuba, because everyone's cringe, kind of in a way, then it just kind of fits the world that it's in already. So I just roll with it, you know. If Megumin was like, you know, actually, now that I think about it, that is an interesting question.
If you saw Megumin in real life, what would you do?
No, would I still see it as cringe? Because now that I think about it, she has a lot of Chunibyo moments in regards to the explosion thing, but like, that wouldn't really apply to real life because she wouldn't be able to do explosions, and like a lot of her scenes aren't even her being a Chunibyo. Like, now that I think about it, so I don't know.
In Megumin, she'd pretend to do the explosion and still fall over just to do it, just to act like she did it. No, if I saw it in real life.
I don't know. It's just a bit weird, yeah. You magically fixed it, Brandon? Okay. Damn, you're literally broke. I'm not that bad. I'm not so bad to the point where it's like, whatever.
She's literally me, guys.
Okay, Chunibyo is a coping mechanism for trauma or anxiety, like Okabe from Steins Gate. So it's actually a very good trait for character development. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. What do you think about Okabe then? You saw Steins Gate, right? He's also a Chunibyo.
Chunibyos are bad.
So what do you think about Okabe?
Oh, let's just move on.
Ah, how dare you! He doesn't like Okabe, guys! How dare he!
I don't like Chunibyo.
How dare he! Okabe is absolute best. How dare you! I managed to do...
We all have our things we're held up on, I guess.
Yep, seems that way.
It just took a lot longer for everyone to figure out mine.
Yeah, you were hiding it for sure. It's like, I'm not gonna mention this out loud. Yeah. I managed to be super cringe while barely speaking at all. I am very talented. Okay. Imagine you're eating and this woman just goes, "My eye is radiating lasers." Not gonna lie, if that happened to me in real life, I'd consider her waifu material right there. This woman is awesome. I don't know. It just, I suppose it depends on the way, on whatever they're saying. If they're just saying like something like completely crazy, that's like, if there was a story where someone's just making some like cringe anime reference in real life and embarrasses themselves in front of a lot of people, then yeah. But if there was a woman who just walked past me and said, "My eye is radiating lasers," and she was actually like you know, if she was actually cute, I'd be like, "Dang, this girl is great. I like her already." So yeah, but Brandon, it's not about not caring. It's about pretending you don't care until you've tricked yourself. Yeah, indeed. Okay.
Make it till you make it.
Yeah, okay, Darkness. Do you find more annoying Megumin's bullshit over Darkness's bullshit? Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah. We already went over this too. Darkness is literally me.
Yeah, exactly. I think we're the reverse in that situation because I can't stand Darkness's bullshit whenever she starts going into the horny mode. I'm just like, bro, when is this gonna move on already?
And I can't stand it when she goes into her Chunibyo mode.
Yeah,
like, oh my God,
yeah. This all makes sense now. It all makes sense. You just don't like Chunibyo. I think if Megumin was real, she would go on Twitter and get praised by her self-love. Yeah, that would fit. Okay, in school, I was either obnoxious or charismatic, depending on the person and time. Yeah, I suppose it would be seen as obnoxious to some people, and that depends. But for me personally, I wouldn't really see someone acting like that in real life to be as obnoxious. I don't know. I guess it's just weird. I like it. I like it when people are willing to act weird. You know, just like I'm fine with it.
Be yourself. Don't be weird.
Be yourself, but don't be weird.
Yes, that's how you survive in society.
Okay. Okay, let's move on to this. Okay. What is with you guys? Okay, wait. Okay, Oshinoku episode 2 thoughts. Yeah, it was good. I liked it. Obviously it's not there's not gonna be as much happening, but like I already expected it. I already read the manga. I knew exactly what was gonna happen in it. And yeah, it adapted things fairly well. And I'm looking forward to the next episodes. So
someone who didn't read it, I still enjoyed it.
Yeah, that's good. Okay. So Godzilla has a canon mom and her name is Majira and she like 12'6". What? Moving on. Are you my waifu? Please, I must know. No. Please don't say that again. If it was husbando though, that'd be a little bit of a different story. But no. Trope talk. Why don't harem anime work? And if so, why are they so prevalent? Well, it's pretty obvious why they're so prevalent, because it's fan service and people want to imagine themselves as the main character where you're surrounded by girls and, you know, have them first over you. That's what you want, right? That's... Weebs are lonely.
That's what they think we want. That's what they think we want.
That's what they think we want, yeah. Yeah. But that's the thing. That really is what a lot of the masses want, unfortunately. A lot of the people who are bothered to more go into the discussion side of things, they're the people who don't care about that. But like the people who like are watching this so much, they just watch it. They don't care about the discussion side of things. They just watch trashy anime, and that's a lot of the silent majority, I suppose. So yeah.
I like trashy anime. Smartphone season 2.
Wait a second. Oops. Oops, I just went back.
Oh, you suck.
I suck. Okay. Be yourself, but don't be weird is unironically good. Yeah, but like that's as they say, as Laura says, who decides what is weird though? That's the thing. Who decides what is weird? Alright, Laura's saying sometimes some people become randomly mean and evil to cope with trauma. I say Chunibyo is a healthier way. That's just Tsunderes. You just described Tsunderes, and I love Tsunderes, so I don't know.
Laura's on my side with agreeing Tsunderes are mid.
Okay, the ones who will like kick you in the face and stuff like that, those ones are kind of annoying. But if they're like,
wait, what are you talking about? Those are the only good ones.
But the ones who just act snarky and stuff and will, you know, like throw an insult your way here or there, those ones are top tier. Like Makise Kurisu is like the perfect example of that. You know, she doesn't feel the need to be super violent and kick you all the time and stuff, but she will, like, her reactions to Okabe's bullshit all the time is the funniest thing ever, and that's what makes her great. So yeah, that's a great example of a well-executed tsundere, in my opinion.
But people always want to point to Taiga as the prime example of one.
Yeah, there's type 1 tsunderes and type 2 tsunderes. Like, Taiga is like the type 1 tsundere, who's like super violent and mellows out over time. And Makise Kurisu is like the type 2 tsundere, who stays a bit more consistent throughout it, but like it isn't as extreme with the violence. What is weird? Vsauce music swats. Yeah. If you wonder how could a harem be genuinely good, watch Saikano. Yeah. Okay. On the rare occasion harem is done legitimately well, it can actually be pretty great because it means there's likely an actual likable and well-developed main cast. Oh yeah. That is true. There are also inverse harems. Yeah. There are people that like so. Yeah. Okay. For some reason, the reverse harems tend to be better written. I can't say that for sure since I haven't actually seen that many reverse harems, but that would make sense to me, and I think that's because I just girls have different like wants from what they're looking for in an anime in regards to fan service than guys, I suppose. So I don't know.
The only reverse harem I kind of know of is from the dating sim isekai, and that's just used as like a jokey trope in it.
Yeah, I mean, so far I'm watching Chihaya Furu, and that's like actually aimed at women. That's a shoujo slash josei anime, and like you could see how it's kind of setting up a love triangle. And personally, I'm not really into love triangles whenever they pop up. Like that includes with Western movies and stuff like that. I just never like them. But you know, with in this case, I feel like it's like at least it doesn't put too much emphasis on it and focuses more on the actual game itself. So I like that. Like I still like the show despite that. Okay, tsundere that are violent is such an annoying trope that I hate her and wish the MC to not get engaged with her. I mean, I'm willing to look past it. It's just that something that doesn't really like it. I particularly like either. Good examples of that are like Eris from Mushoku Tensei and Taiga. But like the tsunderes who are just like a bit snarky and stuff like that, who just pretend to not like the main character when they do like them. Those are cool. I like those. It's just a bit more.
Oh wait, you haven't seen the comment.
Yes, that's right. If you want, I want an anti-harem, a typical setup of a man put into a wacky situation where he's surrounded by women, but the entire cast just has nothing but utter disdain from one another. Isn't that? I'd like that. I want more of those.
Yeah, that could be actually pretty funny.
That'd be great, actually. Just like he's kept put into wacky situations, but all the women just like absolutely. If you think about that, though, isn't that kind of what Konosuba is? Like, that's kind of what Konosuba is, because all the girls just go, like, they will just, like, absolutely roast Kazuma and just call him out for being just trash, essentially. They just keep calling him trash. And that's why I liked it, because it's like, oh, they're not all just like, you know, hopelessly in love with him from the start, because that just feels like, you know, unrealistic and stuff. But the fact that they call him out for what he is, it just like, that's kind of what this is, like with the anti-harem thing Brandon Hughes brought up. Okay.
That is the only thing good about Aqua, is the fact that she'll just roast the hell out of Kazuma.
Yeah, and the best part is that they have no romantic interest in each other whatsoever. Like, there's nothing. They don't have any chemistry. They don't need to. They're just basically a brother sister duo, and
well, you can't say that. That's Japan.
No, okay.
That still can imply something.
I mean, like an actual, fine. An actual brother sister duo, not like it. Not the Japanese brother-sister thing, but like an actual sibling dynamic. Where they just annoy the heck out of each other, but they still care for each other in a completely platonic way. And I like that, and I'm glad that it stays that way. That is actually refreshing. Okay, I don't like harems, but that just goes on a... I don't like harems that just goes on a more than friends but less than lover trope. It's annoying. Yeah, I don't see that many harems, so like I can't really say. Some random producer will eventually make another weird anime with a sort of character lovable as well as the show itself, as they always have. Yeah. I'm not answering the question of who's stronger. I don't like that question. Sorry. Makise Kurusu is a top-tier tsundere. She's not as violent and only is when necessary. Exactly. And she's so much more mature and respectful than average tsundere. Again, she's the best of the best. Exactly. That is a perfect example of someone who understands what the appeal of tsunderes are. Like, I feel like there are a lot of tsunderes out there who are just written by people who just saw the tropes and just doesn't actually care about tsunderes and just threw it in because they thought the audience would like it. But, like, there's a certain aspect to tsunderes that, like, you're like, it's like walking the fine line between what's annoying and what's good. And Makise definitely is a good example of one who is able to balance that. I love that Kazuma doesn't have a harem. They are all his friend group is something I wished I had. Then girls tend to be less culturally less be less horny, and when they are, they're not as brain dead as men. So they have kind of higher standards for plot. Maybe, kinda. Yeah, that would make sense. You know. Okay, okay, Aqua and Kazuma having one of my favorite relationships in anime because they feel a legitimately realistic best friend pair whose main hobby is just roasting each other to dust. Yeah, exactly. And I just love that that's what it is. They don't feel the need to make it be anything more. Okay. Let's look at some of these now. Okay, or I don't know, praise Oshinoko. I already did that. Or maybe discuss what makes the anime good, like the exact ratio of character design to plot to animation to soundtrack. Well, that's an easy question. It's all of them. Like, obviously... I mean, I feel like if I was to say something that is like, well, yeah, duh, that's obvious. Obviously, the first thing that comes is the writing and the directing, and then stuff like the music, and then stuff like, you know, the character designs and the animation and stuff like that, and like, yeah. I don't really have much to say on there, unless I was to get into a full essay right now and to just ignore chat and just ignore the rest of the submissions, but I don't really want to do that right now.
Yeah, that's like too...
That's like
question.
That's like a full stream in itself. Yeah, exactly. There's too much scope there. Konosuba, the anime that makes you wish you had friends. Oh man.
Yeah.
And it was one submission away from the funny number. Yeah. It was this close to greatness, guys. Okay. I find action manga to be generally better than their adaptations. It's just more consistent. On the contrary, I can't read action manga for whatever reason. Like, I just don't get into them as much. Usually the manga that I do read are more so focused on the personal aspect, like between characters and stuff like that. And I don't know. Is it just me? Or when you read action manga and stuff and there's like a bunch of action going on, it's difficult to make out exactly what's happening. Like,
yeah, I don't really like reading action manga.
Yeah, it's just that it's hard to tell. It's like, wait, how did they go from this to this with their movement there? Is their foot there now? I can't quite visualize it in my head, and sometimes it's hard to follow along with exactly what's happening. So, yeah.
Like, I've only read one manga in my life though. That's AOT, to be fair.
Yeah. But like,
and yeah, that's an action manga, so it's like maybe that's why I don't read it, because I got put off by it.
Yeah, usually a lot of the manga that I do read are more so the wholesome slice of life types, because I don't really feel the need to watch them as an anime as much, but it fits perfectly as a manga, because like, you know, it's just something that you pick up at a random point in the middle of the day and go, oh, I want to read a bit of wholesomeness, and then you just put it down whenever you feel like. So that's why I usually read those more so. But in regards to like action, I usually prefer to see that like fully realized, animated with a soundtrack, just like Attack on Titan. I probably wouldn't enjoy Attack on Titan as much if it weren't for its like epic soundtrack. Like that soundtrack is legitimately one of the best OSTs that I've heard for an anime ever. Like it's just awesome. Like
iconic. You can go up to a non-anime fan and play it and they'll go, yeah.
It's like yeah. It's just a raw, and it legitimately makes it feel like cinema. Like,
oh yeah,
that's what it feels like to me.
I loved watching it because watching it and seeing it are two different things. Like,
yeah,
spoiler for anyone who hasn't read it, but the rumbling, watching it versus like reading it, you're like, okay, just fast forward.
Yeah,
but watching it as the character's actually screaming, like, oh god, I feel like
oh god, it feels like you're actually experiencing it rather than just Whereas I feel like manga's more better suited towards like, you know, the more personal stuff, where it's just like you want to get inside the character's head and stuff, or you want to focus more on the character's relationships and stuff. I feel like it's slightly better for that because you can really take your time to read it, and like you can just read it, and if you want to, you can like go, wait a second, what did that line mean, kind of thing, and you can like hold on that for a few seconds or whatever it is. It's just a different kind of appeal to me. Okay, honestly, that was one thing I wasn't a fan of in Chainsaw Man. There can be some really cool shit happening in manga form, but it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I felt kind of the same way about the manga for Chainsaw Man and the anime. So yeah. Konosuba truly shows you friendship, an amazing relationship between a group of characters who you can see just really enjoying being around each other and really express themselves without holding back. Yeah, that's exactly what I loved about it. Like, I know it's not the best written thing in the world or anything like that, but it's purely for that reason. I just like watching these friends be themselves around each other and just screw around. Yeah. It depends on the story. A lot of the time, it's just that the author isn't good at creating action in comics. Yeah, sometimes, but even in the ones that people like highly praise and are saying are really good, I still need to think of a little bit about like how exactly this is happening. It's like, it's just an action thing in general. Okay, one anime I want an anime is an anime that what people think Dragon Ball is screaming the whole time in fights and nothing else. I haven't seen Dragon Balls, I gotta say. Hi, have a nice day. Thank you for dropping in. I bought the entire Horimiya manga series as physical volumes and read up to volume 15 in a weekend. Yeah, cool. Yeah. I mean, that's why, like, I really, manga that I ended up picking up and, like, not even manga. I read the light novels for Konosuba for that as well. Like, and that's part of the reason why I really enjoyed them, because it was so focused on the character interactions, and like, you know, the more personal things and just their personalities and stuff, that I felt like it had a bit of a closer connection to it the more it is like in writing and stuff like that, compared to where it's an anime where it's a bit better for more the epic stuff or the more like grander scale stuff. Where it's more, yeah,
it's a struggle with anything you adapt from like a written media to visual. Stuff gets left out.
Yeah, exactly. That's why generally when you adapt something to an anime adaptation, it's not enough to just translate it one for one. You got to understand the appeal for it. And you got to kind of do your own thing as well. Okay, I hope you live through the stream, Brandon. Yeah, thank you. I'm going to bed. Thank you for joining in regardless. Okay, have you read Goodbye Eri? It's my favorite one shot by Fujimoto. I might actually check that one out. That was like, if it's a one shot, so like, yeah, I'd probably get through it faster. Oh, Attack on Titan is notorious for having not easy to follow action. Yeah, that's why I appreciated the anime so much, because like the action was like amazing there, especially the animation and stuff, and the way the music and direction combined with that. It was just chef's kiss, absolutely amazing. Okay.
I think what helped me with it was I had first season had already come out before I read the manga, so that way I could watch the first season. So when I read it, I at least had a picture of the action.
Yeah, exactly, because you'd already seen it animated.
So maybe
and stuff.
that's what helped me get through it. But yeah, like I said, it was kind of hard to follow, like the action.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why I'm glad that, yeah, they really went ham on the animation and stuff. They just went full out. It's like, let's make this all absolutely epic, and you're gonna... Yeah, and sometimes, like, I like it whenever anime adaptations do that, because apparently Demon Slayer did the same thing, where it's just like, you know, 4 different panels and stuff, and it's like, yeah, okay, that's fine. But then the crew just goes absolutely full on, and they show this entire action sequence with like a bunch of different things, and like with them doing cool flips and stuff, and it's like, yeah, I like it when they do that, rather than just, you know, translating it 1 for 1, because obviously in a manga form, it's not going to be the same thing as if it's animated. So utilize that. Utilize your advantage. Okay, I already asked this once, but I want to hear your opinion on Haikyuu. It's easily my favorite anime because of how deep, inspirational, and relatable it is. Realism is just the most insane thing, and that's why I consider Hinata Shoyo as the best MC in anime manga. Okay, yeah, to be honest, I've never read I've never read a sports manga or anime in my life.
I don't even know who that character is.
It's the main character, so yeah, it seems cool, but you know, like the fact that it's an action shonen sports anime / manga, it kind of in itself like deters me from wanting to watch it, because I already had my shonen phase. I already went past that a long time ago. Now I'm in my seinen phase. Okay.
Yeah, I've never watched a sports anime.
Yeah, I might check it out at one point, but yeah, right now it's not exactly at the top of my list. Brandon, what is your favorite character archetype? Flat, positive, or negative? Oh, I'm actually surprised that someone brought this up, because like this is how many people know about this? Like the different character archetypes.
Probably no one.
Yeah.
Besides you.
Except and Lost Sauce, who's the one who brought this up in the first place. Yeah. Did you read like screenwriting books to find that out, or do you just know it from general knowledge or something like that? For those of you who don't know what that is, basically there are different, like, you know, different types of character arcs. There's the positive type where someone changes for the better, the flat type where they are already kind of a role model from the beginning to end and they stay the same, but they inspire other people to reach their character arcs. And then there's the negative type where they start off good and they become corrupted over time, or they start off bad and they end up losing because of that. Stuff like that. Those are the different types of like character arcs. For me personally,
negative all the way.
For me personally, I don't have a favorite. It literally just depends on whatever story you're trying to tell, and if it's done well, then that will be my favorite. So, yeah, it's like asking, what is your favorite tool? A screwdriver or a wrench? It's just like, well, it just depends on whatever you need it for. Can't really pick a favorite.
You can do anything with a hammer.
Yeah, except for screwing something.
No, you can do it with a hammer.
You can find a way.
You can find a way. They got the little claw hooks at the end of it. If you need to, you can find a way. Okay,
did you watch Onimai? A little bit of it. But I don't know. It is pretty wholesome and stuff, but at the same time, you know, the looter stuff isn't quite my thing either. But at the same time, yeah, I might catch up on it eventually. Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm just gonna skip a whole bunch of chat here. Okay. Chihara Furu is a sports anime. Technically the truth. Technically the truth. I don't really see it as that. It's more of a tabletop anime. But yeah, it is if you think about it, it does technically feel very much like a sports anime sometimes. Okay, the natural progression is shonen, seinen, shojo. Yeah, that is true actually. The more anime you watch, the more you transition from shonen to seinen to shojo. That's just like the natural progression of things.
I can trust that. When I first started anime, I was like, I'd never be caught dead watching a slice of life.
And now it's just like that's all.
Now I'm on a pro like new slice of life.
When's that new slice of life anime coming out? You know, I can eat that up.
I used to tell my friends like, I watch anime because I want to see stuff you can't see like on the big screen because
Yeah, because like that's how you justify it at the start. Like you tell people it's like, yeah, but look how epic and cool the anime, the action is.
You can't make a movie out of this.
Look how well animated it is, and the screaming and the it's so violent and stuff. Yeah, that's what makes you look cool. So you just kind of go, oh man, this anime thing might be kind of cool. You show Attack on Titan and all that stuff. But then the further you get in, the more you realize, maybe I really do want to watch more slice of life stuff. Sometimes I just want to see characters just be the characters.
I can't even remember what my first slice of life was, but I think I watched one romance anime, and that was just like,
yep, I'm in. Was it Toradora?
No, I know it because I watched one romance anime, and then that's what then I went to Crunchyroll and like went to romance, and then Toradora was the number one. I'm like, I guess I'll watch Toradora next. And then I think Toradora is what's really opened the floodgates. But there was one anime before it. I can't remember. That got me thinking, I want to go check out some romance anime.
This is actually pretty cool. I like this sort of thing. Because like it's always when you start where it's like I see something like Lucky Star and I'm gonna go, oh god, why would I ever watch anything like that? That just looks terrible, so weeby. And now I'm just at the point where I'm just like, it actually seems pretty cool. I might watch it. I gotta watch Haruhi Suzumiya first before watching Lucky Star though, because I know that Lucky Star like it has a bunch of references to that, so that'd be cool. Fun to point out. But yeah. Guys, I'm outside right now and there's a Darkness cosplayer near me.
That's
wow.
Awesome. Get her number.
A guy asked for a photo. Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah, there's more shoujo J dramas than shoujo anime nowadays. Yeah, not gonna lie, that actually ticks me off. I wish there was more anime adaptations of shoujo anime because like I saw this thing online. Like there was this entire discussion where it was just so stupid how a lot. Okay. It was basically this person showing, it's like, hey, there's this shoujo manga, it's super popular, millions of people are following along with it, but like, for whatever reason, studios just refuse to adapt it, to give it an anime adaptation, even though it's got a huge fan base already, and a lot of people were commenting underneath that, basically saying it's like, oh yeah, but obviously that's because that's not the type of thing that people want to see. What really is popular is the anime that's aimed towards men. And I'm just like, and like people would be finding examples like, wait, so you're telling me that this random isekai with like barely, that like not that many people are watching and like isn't really getting that much money, people would rather greenlight that than one of the most popular shoujo manga to like exist right now? And
yes,
it just doesn't make sense, because it's like there are more people who are watching that, who are reading that shoujo manga, so obviously it's not a question of numbers. I just think it's just them thinking that, oh yeah, guys won't be willing to watch this and stuff. It's like, screw you. Yes, there are. It's like, and it's big numbers. It just doesn't make sense. It's just like
you just gotta cope.
It's
cope,
just weird.
Brandon, cope.
Okay, I never. Yeah, I see you still talking about Haikyuu. I might check it out if I get enough people screaming at me to watch it. That's how you get me to watch anime. If there's enough people screaming at me to watch it consistently, then eventually I'll go, yeah, I'll watch it. It's not even because it's me being stubborn. It's just me having a huge list of anime already and wanting to watch those first. So,
Angel Beats.
Yes, I watch Angel Beats. Okay, honestly, I prefer negative only because when I see a good negative arc, it feels new since I don't see it often. That is a good point. There aren't that many negative arcs out there. So when it does do it, it does it well. So it's like, it stands out. It's like, dang, that really hit hard. That's what Parasite was for me. It's like, ow, that was so intense and stuff. It's like, that was really good. But at the same time, I hope that people don't end up just looking at that and going, oh yeah, we need to end everything on a sad and depressing ending, and just completely misses the point of how good the character development was to get to there, Okay, Dragon Maid and Fruits Basket have two similar name characters too? Oh, yeah. They're both called, yeah. Okay. Okay, positive character arcs done perfectly, like Zuko from Avatar, generally have really satisfying conclusions, but negative character arcs are normally the most fun on to watch as they progress. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's just personally, I think it's because positive character arcs are like, you know, the standard. It's the default option. So obviously, if everyone's going to go for a happy ending as the default options, obviously there are going to be a lot more examples of it being done poorly than negative character arcs. But I think the same thing would happen if everyone was going for a negative character arc, like a negative ending, where if everyone was doing a negative ending and there were a select few ones that were doing a positive ending, then those ones would stand out more because, you know, everyone would appreciate that more. It's like, yeah, we need more positive endings and more positive character arcs. It's just about breaking what's the default and breaking what's the norms. So yeah.
Okay, going through my watch history, I had to scroll way back for this.
Yeah.
I think it was, surprisingly, I watched Charlotte, and then from there I was like, I think I'll watch more, and then
oh wow, Charlotte was your first one.
Yeah.
That would be very interesting. Brendan Hughes says, I literally went from zero interest in romance stories to being completely obsessed with them in 2 hours. It took me to watch Your Name. That is understandable. Your Name was a fantastic movie, even though, like, yeah. I feel like that would have introduced a lot of people as well.
And based on all this, I watched Toradora in less than 24 hours because it shows me starting episode 1 on 0523, and I watched the last episode 0524.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
I showed my mom Toradora and she loved it as well. So I was so happy about that. Like, it's like, yeah, it's just
wait.
Yeah, J-dramas are cringy. The acting tries to imitate the manga / anime faces instead of translating it into the real human acting. Yeah, that I agree. I don't watch dramas for that reason. J-dramas.
When did I watch Angel Beats? Oh wait, I didn't watch Angel Beats on Crunchyroll. That's why I can't tell you when I watched that.
Yeah, it is a big shame though that shoujo anime doesn't get quite the same budget as most shonen anime and stuff. I feel like that's a little unfair because there'd be a lot of great stories in shoujo anime, but because it isn't promoted as much, people aren't watching it as much. So it's like, kind of has this entire cycle where people aren't watching shoujo because they aren't being promoted, and people aren't making more shoujo because people aren't watching it. So yeah, I hope that breaks out eventually soon, because like I want to watch more shoujo anime, especially if they're good. The first anime I watched was Re:Zero. Damn, bro, you went down the deep end. Just like, wow.
I mean, I got a feel for him, man. He started the anime with the best waifu ever. And it's all downhill from there because no one's ever going to compare to Rem.
The first waifu introduced was Amelia. So you're calling her the best waifu ever? Yeah. No. Yeah.
No, I said the first anime with the best waifu. Not the first waifu.
First waifu introduced was still Amelia.
You know, I did not mind Amelia when I first saw her, but then Rem came on and I'm like, yeah, sorry, Amelia.
I don't know. I just never understood the appeal for like maid uniforms and stuff on anime girls. I don't know. Like a lot of people find it cute, but for me, it's just nothing. Like I don't dislike it either.
Maid uniform. The maid uniform helped, but it wasn't the maid uniform.
I don't know. I just never understood the appeal behind it. I know a lot of people are probably gonna go, "Oh, come on, Brenda, are you serious? They're so cute." And I'm just like, they're fine. I don't really care that much about them, honestly. Okay, with shoujo I finished and reading Kimi ni Todoke. As much as I enjoy it, I feel like the plot and pacing seem cliche and doesn't do anything new. Okay.
Have I even watched a shoujo?
Is there any good shoujo recommendations? Yeah, I obviously recommend Chihaya Furu, but that's the only one that I'm watching right now. So if anyone else has good shoujo anime that they want to recommend, please do so, because that, like, yeah, I want to put more on my list.
I need to check to see if I even seen any.
Yeah, it's very possible that you just haven't, because like usually, I don't know.
The only one I think of is maybe Maid Sama, but is that shoujo?
I think that might be Maid Sama. Well, let me check that out.
Or like, what's it called? Clanad? That's a shoujo.
Clanad. Right? Nah, Clanad's not a shoujo. I'm quite sure. Okay, Maid Sama is a shoujo, but is is wait a second.
Barely one, like barely qualifies, or
Claned's just a drama. Technically Claned's a shonen, so the more you know. Yeah, I mean Toradora is also like a shonen, I'm quite sure as well. So it's like just because it's romance, it doesn't mean it's a shoujo. It's a bit different.
okay.
I mean, the most tropes that you see in shoujo are pretty obvious. Usually, I think the tropes that you generally see in shoujo anime is that there's like a main character who's a girl, and she's surrounded by like two different love interests, which is the guy who's a bit more like gloomy and more like serious. Yeah. And then there's the guy who's a bit more happy and upbeat, and usually usually she goes for like the gloomy guy in the end, I think, or like the tsundere guy in the end. And usually
I remember a good Shojo actually. I remember one. That last scene at the end of Kaguya-sama when
that one end credit scene where they were parroting shoujo anime, that was great. Yeah, but like
penguins.
It's penguins. That was great. But yeah, usually with shoujo anime, they have those eyes as well, and they always throw in a lot of sparkles everywhere as well. So yeah, it's pretty obvious whenever it's a shoujo anime. Like I noticed that like right away when I started watching Chihaya Furu. It's like, yeah, this is very different from most anime that I've seen. It's not bad, but it's just different. It's like, oh, so this is what shoujo anime usually like. Yeah, I see. Okay. And yeah, usually those two guys are kind of like competing for the main girl for the rest of the series. So, you know, it's not that different from Harem, but like yeah, you can kind of see the tropes. Would you consider Light Yagami to have a negative character arc, or was he consistently same of psychopath from start to finish? I would consider it to be a negative character arc, and I would say that okay, I wouldn't.
Definitely got more insane.
He got more insane as it progressed. I wouldn't say that he was like the same level of psychopath at the beginning as he was at the end. It definitely was there, but if he never had the Death Note, he would have just been a normal guy who had these kind of grand delusions, and it would have stayed in his head, and he would have just lived out a normal life. But the fact that he was given the power to kind of act on it meant that that part of him that was like a kind of psychopathic grew before it like basically overtook his entire character. So that part was Kira. Like Kira was only like a very like small thing at the beginning, but like as he went more and more across the series, he slowly became Kira, and then the ending happened. So that's definitely like a kind of a corruption arc.
What do you mean it ended? It left us on a huge cliffhanger.
Oh yes, that was after. It was a huge cliffhanger.
They killed L and it just ended.
Yeah, didn't remember what happened after that.
Nothing else happened after that.
Yeah, if only they gave a second season, it would probably be huge.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh man, I'm way far behind.
Yeah, you are.
God. Sorry, I'm just gonna skip everything and go right. Okay, watch Fruits Basket. Oh yeah, that's also one that I'm gonna check out. That'll probably be my next shoujo anime because that one also seems pretty good. There's a shoujo romance airing right now called Love Story with Yamada-kun at level 999. It's pretty good so far. Oh, okay. Yeah, I wish there was slightly more hype surrounding it as well. Real life anime adaptation can be cringe. They need to adapt to me. Yeah. For some reason, I feel like every relevant anime content creator hasn't watched Haikyuu. That is sad. I feel like there are a lot of people who have made Haikyuu video essays though. Even several of my friends who are content creators have made Haikyuu video essays. Okay. Wait, Clannad is shonen? Yeah, indeed it is. Yeah, I gotta watch Fruits Basket. Romantic Killer is a shoujo. I don't think Clannad counts as a shonen. Shonen anime come from shonen manga. Clannad is a visual novel. That's true, but like it's also aimed at a shonen audience, so it still technically is a shonen anime, even if it doesn't come from a manga. I don't know, depends. I need to do more research.
These genre things are just confusing me.
Yeah, that's because they aren't genres. Shonen, shoujo, like seinen, they're not genres. They're just demographics. What genres are? What genres actually are stuff like drama, slice of life, comedy, action, superhero, stuff like that. Those are genres.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to say that Your Name was mid, but it's just that I expected a masterpiece and only found a good movie. That's kind of cute. That's so frustrating. It's like, how are you supposed to get the word out to like that many people without some people being disappointed in it? Like, it's like, in my opinion, it was a masterpiece, and I didn't go in with super high expectations. I just watched it for the movie, and like, yeah, it was an amazing movie. This understanding trope is the worst. The second season in Kimi no Todoke makes me want to pull my hair. Okay, that I can agree with. Conflict based on misunderstandings is the worst thing ever. Like, when it's an intentional choice by the characters to not say something, then yeah, that makes sense. Like, that's what they did in Toradora. They had stuff that they could have said, but they intentionally chose not to because they refused. But if it's something where it's just like, this could have been easily solved if they just happened to like, if they just happen to say something, yeah. But like in the characters in Toradora, they did sit down and have a conversation, and they intentionally didn't tell each other because they didn't want to. That's a bit of a different thing. But if it's just a misunderstanding, then that's frustrating as heck. Because it's like, now the drama isn't based on like actual difference in opinion or not. It's just based on, oh, this all could have been resolved if they had just happened to say something. Yeah. Banana Fish is a shoujo that takes place in America. The main character is also a guy. Oh yeah, that one, that's not like a gay romance, isn't it? From what I've heard. So, yeah. I've only read the first chapter of the manga, but it's about the French Revolution, which is something people are familiar with. What? The Banana Fish?
How are you reading?
What? You just threw me for a loop like a million different times at once. It takes place in America, the main character is a guy, and also it's about the French Revolution. Yeah, it's a yaoi. Also, it's a yaoi. It's like, what? What?
You just fried his brain.
Yeah. Life Lessons with Uramachi Onisan is 100 out of 10. I highly recommend it. One episode and you will be hooked. One a season, 12 episodes, and it wraps up perfectly. Okay. Yeah, Bochi the Rock song music is also great. Brandon, would you like to go through my mouth? Oh, no, thank you. My eyes are very bright, so people tell me I have shoujo eyes. Yeah, the shoujo eyes thing, you'll notice instantly. It's like, oh, they just have these eyes that look completely different from most from most shonen anime and stuff. So it's like, yeah. Yeah. Okay. I thought everyone. Okay. No loss is really okay. Everyone's having a conversation with each other, so I'm gonna skip those. Alexander makes a lot of high-Q videos, which I really like. Yeah, that's one example. Shonen just meant young boy, so romance can aim towards that demographic as well. Exactly. Oh yeah, Harsh Reviews? Yeah, I also know him. He's made several high-Q videos as well, I'm quite sure. So definitely check that out.
Okay,
Anyway,
I found another one I've seen. Say I Love You. There, found. I
Say I
have
Love
watched
You?
another shoujo.
oh yes, you have watched another shoujo anime.
I'm literally going through this.
It's like, wait a second, which one is a shoujo anime? Because I was just like, oh, I've watched a bunch of anime. I wonder if any of them is a shoujo without me realizing. Nope.
Yep, I'm going through my analyst, just going, have I seen any shoujo?
I quickly realized as soon as people pulled up lists of the most popular shoujo anime that I barely heard of any of them. Which is a shame because I base a lot of the stuff that I watch based on how many times that I've heard of a specific thing and how interesting it sounds to me. So if I've barely been recommended shoujo anime, it's kind of hard for me to get into it, even if I am interested in it, because like all these titles are completely like something that I've never heard of before. So like seriously, I want more recommendations of actual good shoujo anime and stuff like that. So because so far it's just Fruits Basket and Chihaya Furu. That's like the main ones, and Maid Sama as well.
Final tally. I've seen 3.
Those are probably the 3 that I'm most likely to watch next. I'm already watching Chihaya Furu, so yeah.
Yeah, I've seen 3 shoujos. That's it.
I'm in a McDonald's drive-thru. What do I get? The ice cream.
Nuggets.
If the ice cream machine isn't broken,
Who got the McDonald's and doesn't get nuggets. That's it. Nuggets.
Rose of Versailles is a shoujo. See, that's another thing. I haven't heard of it. I need to hear more about this. I want to see more people talking about it. I feel like a lot of people would be the same, actually. If they just heard more people talking about shoujo anime and was recommended it more of us would watch it.
We need Jameson here.
Yeah. He's probably like the shoujo connoisseur. Probably seen a whole ton. Okay. Okay. I just submitting to give some appreciation to Doga Kobo for making Oshinoko look stunningly beautiful. Indeed. They made it look absolutely amazing. Aqua, but if she was the girl... Please don't go down that route, no. Can we talk about what cup size is really the... Are we really getting into this conversation? Really? It's been bugging me for a while now, and it's been stressing me out so much to the point where my brain won't function how it's supposed to anymore. This is a really important and serious subject, so please think this very carefully. Bro, why is this on your mind so much?
What? Dude, just look at the next two.
I give up on my fan base, man. Just like, what the hell is this? I sincerely hope that all three of these were submitted by the one person. Because if they were submitted by 3 different people, I just want to commit seppuku already. Just like, I'm done. My God. Oh, my submission. Sabretooth, this is you? What are you doing, man?
Yeah. Man. Is he in the one?
Oh my God. Okay. Can we talk about what cup size? This is it's stressing me out so much. One of life's most important questions. Which cup size is superior?
It doesn't matter because you're never gonna find out.
Yeah, exactly. You're not gonna find any. Okay, wait. I need to actually like different cup sizes.
Oh, don't you want to get demonetized? Look that up. Yeah, sure. Don't you dare.
I just need to
make sure you have, safe search on.
Okay, let me open it up on a different tab and turn on safe search.
Yeah. You were not smart just looking this up.
No, I was going to turn on safe search anyways, but like different cup sizes. It's a bit hard to be able to tell based on that. These are not very helpful at all. There are like no diagrams here at all. They're just random screenshots. Okay, let's just, instead of cup size, let's just say medium, small, or big. For me, I'll just choose medium there. Happy medium. That's it. Now let's move on to the next question.
The real answer is everyone knows all dudes just don't care. We don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
You have your
it's not about the size. Yeah, exactly. There'll be preferences, but at the end of the day, any guys will be happy with anything. It's just I saw this meme where it was just like it showed the guys like mind exploding, and it was just like at small size and big size, and it was the exact same reaction. See, that's the thing. We just don't care at the end of the day. There's preferences, but if it's, we just will like it regardless. Life is Inukai-san's dog. I'm not going to talk about it. No. You saw that anime, didn't you?
Yeah.
How much of it?
All of it. Think I was not going to finish it?
You watched all of it, man?
Yeah. Hey, like I said, Nefarious is actually reading it now.
Oh my God.
I gotta ask him for an update, like what's happening.
I've avoided that anime, like just like. Look, I get it. It's the main character is a human, but why a dog, man? Why a dog? Why did he need to do that to the dog?
I don't know.
Why did he need to do that to the dog? It's so.
I don't know.
It's a dog.
It's a dumpster fire, and I had to watch it. It's not often I get to watch a dumpster fire week by week.
Like, it's not even like a humanoid dog. It's just a dog. It's just a regular dog.
Yeah.
I can't. Okay, 5. Okay. Yeah, did you know the answer? Flat is justice. I agree with that, but I also agree with the other statements that medium is premium and that. Yeah, I forgot the last one, but yes. If I had to choose, I'd just choose medium, but like all of them are good. Who really cares?
do not care.
Okay. Okay, today is a great day to be a Brandon fan. Okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, Alina. Yeah, that one, not gonna lie, yeah. Elena seems great, but if I was to watch that anime, it'd just be for the main character. The plot itself seems like pretty uninteresting to me. Yeah, okay.
What's he talking about? A dog anime?
No, Elena, Wondering Witch, which is like, yeah. I haven't seen it, and to be honest, like, I'm not really that interested, because the only reason I'd watch it is for the main character, Elena, because she seems cute, but that's about it. The plot itself doesn't seem that interesting to me. So yeah. Yeah, okay. Banana Fish was okay, but if you're willing to watch Boy Love, Given is absolutely must watch. Okay. Personally, obviously, yeah, because I'm a guy. I'm not interested in watching Boy Love stuff. That's just, you know, my thing. I'd much rather to just watch a normal, like, romance between a guy and a girl. So, yeah, it makes sense that there'd be Boy Love in shoujo anime and stuff like that, but, you know, I'm just not going to be as interested in that. I'm not going to watch it for that. You guys will be happy with anything that's sad, wholesome, and hilarious at the same time.
And true.
It's true. It's true. We'll be happy with anything. I mean, there's even this entire thing where it's like guys. Well, if a guy was given a compliment by a girl, that will be a core memory. It will stick with them forever. Like it will just.
Dude, I still remember it.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, a girl actually complimented me. I will remember this for the rest of my life.
While walking through high school, some girl came up to me and was like, "You have beautiful eyes." I still fucking remember.
Oh man.
I was like, "Fuck yeah."
Yeah, this is gonna seem kind of embarrassing because like I didn't actually. It wasn't a compliment at all. It was not. And in fact, you could see it as a bad. Most people would probably see it as a bad thing. But I was just like running to get home, and I did this thing in high school where like I pick up my bag and I just throw it over my shoulders while I'm running, and I happened to do that while I was exiting a door. So when I threw it over my shoulder, I was running like super fast and it just caught in the door handle and I just stopped me right there in the middle of it, and this girl saw it and she was just laughing her head off, and she was like actually on the ground, and I couldn't even be embarrassed at that. I was just happy at the fact that she thought it was funny, and I just went home. I know people are probably gonna look at that and think, bro, that is just sad. Probably.
She probably still remembers that. Like, remember that dumb kid who did this?
Yeah, but like I thought it was funny as well. So I just didn't care. It's not even like I like fell over on my face or anything, or I'm particularly embarrassed of myself. I just got caught in the door and I was like, oh, and the girl thought it was funny. So I was just like, yeah, cool. So I don't know. Maybe my standards really are just that low, but you know. Yeah, Wondering Witch is also made by Konosuba Studio, so they have a single rule called no panties to prevent Elena from being exposed. Okay. Where can I fill this form? Oh, you can't, because I already turned it off. I might turn it on later, but it's in the description. But Elena season 1 is actually really good, but it really and desperately needs a season 2. Yeah, okay. We're disappointing, Brandon. Wait a second. Okay. Inikai-san's dog took doggy style too seriously.
Yeah, that comment was hilarious.
That anime makes me actually lose faith in humanity. I came back to your peak where Inikai-san's dog. Oh my god, you guys. It's like a book of... Okay. The plot is really good. Every episode is a story itself. The good twist that they bring to the table, every episode keeps you hooked. And oh my god, I was just reminded of episode 9. That thing is... Okay. If Elena Wondering Witch actually does turn out to be good, then I might actually watch it. Bro, I remember my crush saying my sleeping is cute in middle school, and I remembered it to this day. Oh, bro, that is so, like, lucky. That is the sort of thing that would stick in your mind for, like, ages. It's like, oh my gosh.
Random compliments.
Random compliment.
Guys don't get them enough, and it sucks.
I've been complimented by dudes more than I have been girls and stuff, which, you know, makes sense. I feel like, but yeah. Wow, I've been complimenting more than most dudes. Hopes you guys are okay.
It's not okay.
more proof that Brandon is a masochist. Brandon finds girls bullying him. No, it's not like that. She wasn't bullying me. She just thought it was hilarious. That's it. I also got bullied and I hated it. But like, yeah. I don't know. I was just happy that at the fact that I made someone happy, I suppose. Maybe it's just that. I get so depressed when people laugh at me because it's never felt like they thought it was funny. I don't know. It felt like more like she was trying not to laugh, which kind of made it funnier. But yeah, I can take anything. I don't mind child abuse in Made in Abyss, but well, that one freaking episode of Elena killed me from the inside. Oh, now I'm curious actually. Like, what the heck happened in that show? I thought it was just like not much happening. Yeah, okay. They put a viewer warning in at the start. Dang. Okay.
Now he's interested.
That actually, like, he's like, bro, what the heck happened in that anime? That's I thought it was just some kind of like, you know, an isekai type thing where like, you know, stuff happens, but like.
What's this name of the anime?
Elena, Wandering Witch.
Oh, Elena, Wandering Witch. Let's just add that to the watch list.
Yeah, I know, right? Something is crazy with the animation studio of Konosuba. You're out of their way to put a viewer warning. Yeah, Elena's not an isekai. Yeah, I know, it's a fantasy, but like, it's still like, yeah, my mind still sees it as the same thing.
Yeah, it's on my watch list now. I'm watching this.
Dang, let me know how it goes. Okay, I'm gonna ignore that. Have you watched... Do you need to ask? Have you watched Oshi no Ko? Did you watch Dr. Stone? If so, what is your favorite part? Sorry, I haven't seen Dr. Stone yet.
I still haven't watched any of third season, but I've watched the first two.
How is it?
It's pretty good. Hilarious.
Okay. What's it like really like? Because I just know it's a shonen.
Basically, the world, everyone gets turned into stone. 3,700 years in the future. What really
like,
drove me off was Senku's the main character, but the first two episodes didn't make it sound like Senku was going to be the main character. And they had this annoying dude who was like, I thought was going to be the MC, and I'm like, oh my god, if this show is this guy the MC, I'm turning the show off. Because it's just terrible, but then it turned out, I got debated, and Senku was
way cooler and stuff. Well, I can't really see that because like he's plastered all over the posters, so it's pretty obvious he's the main character.
Didn't see this again. I only saw this stuff during COVID. I didn't go outside during COVID.
Ah, I see. Yeah, that makes sense.
It was just one of those that popped up on my watch list. I'm like, yeah. And I thought the best friend of Senku was going to be the MC, but thank God, like 4 episodes in, he just steps out for the majority of the series.
Is he like the what was he? That guy from Demon Slayer, the Zenitsu? Is he kind of like the Zenitsu type character?
I haven't watched Demon Slayer, but
yeah, okay.
The dude is just loud and screams everything and all that. It's like, oh god.
Yeah, okay. Everyone, you should watch Code Geass, Brandon. I will watch Code Geass, but you guys haven't brought it up in a couple streams, so.
Other than that, it's good because, you know, watching him take these challenges with science and all that, it's the opposite of, you know, everyone's always like brawn beats brain, but this guy's proven, oh no, brain definitely beats brawn.
Yeah, okay, so it's kind of like a strategy kind of thing, kind of like Death Note, a bit.
Yeah, what he has to do, my favorite thing is he needs to recruit a workforce from the locals, and they're like, so he does this, he brings ramen to them, and like they do all this work for him just so they can get bowls of ramen.
That seems fun. I feel like Brandon will not watch an anime until someone gets the ever-loving shit beat out of them or is begged. No. Guys, you misunderstand. It's not like I don't want to watch them. It's just I got so much to watch. There's so much that I need to watch.
He's so behind. If you go to his analyst, it's like plans to watch.
Exactly. I'm still watching them like every day. It's just that like every time I watch one, like 5 more get added to it. So, Classroom of the Elite. If you like seinen thriller, highly recommend. Oh yeah, I like thrillers. Seinen thriller stuff.
To put this into context, the Discord is a year old. He's been told basically since day 1 to watch Angel Beats. He still hasn't watched it. That's how behind he is.
To be fair, like it's not like you were asking for it from me every day. It's come up a lot more recently.
Yeah, because we're tired of playing games. You gotta watch it.
Okay. Yeah.
Your chances are over. You're watching it now.
Okay.
No, Taiju is annoying. Whoever said that in chat, he's annoying.
Okay, you 2 GOAT shoujo animes, Violet Evergarden and Vivi. That's the thing. They aren't shoujo. Those aren't shoujo anime, guys.
There's no way Vivi is.
Violet Evergarden is not a shoujo anime. It isn't. I assumed it was, but it's not. Look. Violet Evergarden. Just because it's centered on a female character, it's a shonen. Actually, no, it's a seinen.
Yeah. Same
Let's
with
see.
Vivi. Vivi's definitely got to be a seinen.
Yeah, I think I'm quite sure they're both seinen.
Like Vivi's first scene is just murder, so that's definitely clues that that's seinen.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, just because it seems girl, it doesn't mean that it's immediately a shoujo. It is not. It's just a drama. This file I've gotten. Well, either it's a shonen or a seinen. I can't tell. It was based on light novels, so let's see. Yeah, it doesn't even specify. I don't think it actually is either of them. I'm just quite sure it's just a drama, and there's no demographic for it specified. Yeah, okay. Okay, speaking of angel beats, I was just learning. Okay, learning on the piano. That's nice. Yeah, that's my favorite. Okay, my favorite shirt is One Piece. Okay, my favorite shoujo is Cowboy Bebop, and my favorite seinen is K-On! That's the thing. They're both seinen. I'm quite sure. K-On! Is a seinen anime as well. Okay, Brandon, if you want to add a seinen darkly dark thriller, please check out Dororo. Ooh, I've heard of that one. Yeah, Skippin' Loafer is not a shoujo, but a lot of people think it is. Exactly, that's another example. That's a shonen, I'm quite sure. Okay. Okay. I like that in the second episode of Oshinoko, we get Ruby's perspective. The music reflects this by being much more cheerful. I also found it interesting that the director was living with his mom. It was pretty funny, yet kind of sad. And last thing, I started to like Kana more. She doesn't seem like a spoiled child from the first episode. Yeah, well, that's normal. Trust me, you're gonna like her. If you liked her from just that like 1 minute of screen time she had, you're gonna like her a lot more in the following episodes, because like, yeah, she's great. But yeah, Ruby was actually surprisingly cool too. Like I read the manga for it and didn't really like her as much, but like for some reason in the anime, I found her a lot more likable, especially after the time skip and she's older and stuff. But yeah. Yeah, the director living with his mom, I don't find that sad at all. Like I especially with
He said it. Obviously, why would he give up his space inside?
Yeah, exactly. It's just, I mean, technically you could, but like, what's the point? You're just spending money like on nothing, basically. Like, if you can live with your parents and you can actually use the money that you have on something properly, that's not sad at all. That's just being smart. Like, especially in today's economy. Like, if you don't have to move out, then don't move out. Just like, there's so much that you should be doing with your money right now that should not be spent on a house unnecessarily. I don't blame anyone for staying with their parents, honestly. It was different like 20 years ago or something, but now, nah, it's just not feasible.
And it's not like you guys are bringing in girls home anyways.
Exactly. Ah, yeah. It's true though. Oh, Skippin' Loafer's a seinen. Okay. Okay. Yeah, exactly. That's why like demographics aren't like, they don't matter. They're just different publications and stuff like that. It doesn't define what the story is. Okay. What do you think the best anime adaptation is? Ooh, that is a difficult question, because a lot of
when you're anime only, this is tough.
Yeah,
because
I'm anime only on a lot of stuff. The only stuff that I've read generally the only stuff that I've actually read the like original source material for is the stuff that I liked in the first place. Like, I'm talking about stuff like Kaguya-sama, Attack on Titan, Mushoku Tensei also seems really good. I haven't read the source material for that though. I only know which anime adaptations I didn't like, but like in most cases I've only seen the anime, so I don't know. It's hard to say. The best anime adaptation, maybe Attack on Titan. Oshinoko's first episode was also definitely one of the best adaptations I've ever seen. You like adapted it perfectly. It's hard to compare when you haven't seen the source material for a lot of things. So yeah. Because like, I also love Konosuba, but from an adaptation standpoint, it cuts a lot of stuff out, so I can't say that. So stuff like that. For some reason, whenever I'm chatting about anime, I just get the hit with the sudden urge to talk about Haikyuu every 5 minutes. I'm so obsessed, but I don't need therapy because it's truly the best it would deserve. Yeah, I feel like everyone has that one show that they just go, bruh, I want to talk about this show.
Brandon Konosuba.
Yeah, exactly. That's me with Konosuba. Well, what's your anime? That's that
That I always talk about. Obviously, you would know if I always talked about it.
That's true.
Bam.
But maybe you've hidden it. But maybe you've hidden it because in the same way that you've hidden that your disdain for Chunibyos.
Oh, there is an anime that I do enjoy so much. That is my favorite. I've actually read the light novels for.
Is it ReZero?
Nope. And I think it's not tattooed on me yet.
Oh wow.
So.
Would you mind sharing what it is, or are you gonna keep that a secret?
It's gonna be keep it a secret until I get the tattoo.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean I've revealed it before, but people probably don't know it.
Well, Amir, the Brandon gift that was just posted on the server. Why am I only just seeing it now? I immediately favorited it. Which one was that? Was that the one with me being hit by a car at the end of that last video?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, that one. I still love that. I just love how everyone saw that and immediately just freaked out over it. Like, Brandon, how did you do that? Just posting the GIF everywhere.
See, what happened was I flew down to Australia and actually ran him over. He's in the hospital right now.
Yes, indeed. That was darkness in the car. But one of the best parts about that is I just asked my dad, hey dad, can you just drive the car past the camera? Well, I didn't give him any context as what I was doing. And then he went, okay, sure. And then he drive the car past, and then I edited myself in and stuff and like edited it together so I was getting hit by the car. And my poor dad, he had no idea what he just did. So when he saw it later, he was just like, ah! I can't believe I just did Brandon. Yeah, that was hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, okay. As for me, that's Mashuka Tensei, man. I was watching Bookworm anime, but I was like, you know, this is good, but where... Bro, what the heck is wrong with you? Okay, Darkness flew a plane to wing clip him. The car is just a weakling Photoshop to give him less embarrassment. Nah, bro, if Darkness flew a plane into me and I survived, that would make things even more respectable. Like, wow, Brandon was strong enough to survive a plane crash. If any...
I wish I could fly.
Brandon, need to watch read Sakamoto Days. Oh, that one seems interesting, actually. I remember hearing that recommended in the video. Yeah, it's like an action, but also a slice of life show. Even if you don't like manga action, it's really solid. I doubt the anime will do it justice. Yeah, it seems pretty funny. It kind of reminds me of a Spy Family, but like a different kind of thing again. But like, I probably feel the same way towards it and its anime adaptations as I did towards Spy Family, because I loved the manga for Spy Family, but the anime was just significantly less funny. So I like it. As soon as the story started getting like into the more slice of life stuff, then it just felt like it just ground to a halt. Whereas with the manga, since it was still like super funny, then it was able to carry it through that. But yeah. Okay. The average size of... Who is submitting this, guys? Like, please, who is submitting this?
You can't even blame me because I'm not allowed to go through
that. That's all my fault. Insomniacs After School. I don't know what that is. Rem's Renegade stands for... No, I'm skipping that. I'd love if you talk about Zombieland Saga. Have you seen or heard of it? If not, I'd be happy to tell you a bit about the anime. I just know that's an idol anime as well. So yeah, I haven't watched that much idol anime aside from Oshinoko.
Yeah, it's Insomniacs After School is that new anime. It's like... have you seen Call of the Night?
Yeah, well, I've heard of it.
People are just comparing it like Call of the Night, but high school edition, because it's about two students who just stay up all night. Okay,
that seems pretty cool. This is my first time hearing of it.
It's on High Dive for all of, or I don't know.
Can you please delete whatever Sabretooth is going on about live chat? Just please don't ask questions like that. That is just weird. No.
Bad Saber.
Bad Saber. But
you know, Saber, you're going in a timeout for a little bit.
Yeah, Sakamoto Days is like Spy Family, but better. It still has wholesomeness, even though it's basically John Wick. Yeah, that's the impression I got from it. Okay, Darkness Step on Me and like Megumin. Nah, bro. Megumin Step on Me. Oh my god, you asked that here as well? Monogatari series watch over. Google it. What is wrong with people, man? What are these submissions? I need to admit, admit anonymously, but I actually like Megumin more than Aqua. The lie has gone too far, and I'm afraid to be shunned by my fellow Aqua enjoyers. Wait, since when was Aqua enjoyers like a thing? Like, I understand that there are some people, but like on the server, most people either side with Megumin or Darkness.
Toast. I thought it was Toast.
Maybe.
Aqua, I think, actually has the most votes now. On
Really?
this thing she may have to get her own role.
Oh yeah, because she's like one of the main 3 girls, so it makes sense that she'd be nice.
No, it's 10-9 between her and Wiz, with Chris having 7. So Chris is doing it.
I'm still voting for Chris. Yeah.
It's a close one.
Okay. If either of you have seen all/most of JoJo, favorite part, I adore part 4. Okay, you haven't seen JoJo, right?
JoJo.
Yeah,
I don't watch.
I happen to have seen JoJo, and my favorite part is by far part 2, and that's purely for one reason. That's for Joseph Joestar, baby. He's the most awesome main character ever, and he's just like super charismatic, and everything he does is the most hilarious thing ever. That's it. That's the main reason I like it, and it was like nice, short and sweet as well. So it didn't go on for too long, and like it wrapped everything up as it needed to. So my favorite part is definitely part 2. Sorry, part 4 was also really nice because it was a bit more slice of lifey compared to like the action stuff of other JoJo parts, and I like that. And Josuke was also a pretty fun character, but yeah, I'd probably rank it that way: part 2 and then part 4. Obligatory question. Have you gotten around to excuse me that question? I want to get my dad into anime. He wants to watch The Mandalorian with me, but I'm not very interested. I want to get him into anime so we can watch something together. So you can recommend a good anime that would be good as an introductory anime. My dad is Christian, so no demonic stuff, and also minimal gods. He also likes to watch football. Ooh, this is a tough question here.
Yeah.
No demonic stuff.
Hardcore Christian, yeah, that's like that's
No.
guy.
Okay, my dad is also Christian, so it's not. It depends on what level of Christian.
Well, it's no demonic stuff. That's every isekai because they all have the demon king.
Yeah, if you're asking for, but if you're the type of dad who's like asking for no demonic stuff, then it gives me the impression that he's still very much a traditional type of Christian, rather than a Christian who'll still watch like like normal shows and stuff and not really care. So it's a hard question. I'd say watch The Mandalorian with him because like, it's got to kind of be like an equal exchange. Cause like, I watch one show that you want to watch with me, and you can watch a show that I recommend. That's just fair. And okay. Because like some of the anime that I'd recommend in this case is like stuff like The Promised Neverland, which is a great like horror thriller, but like that's demonic.
Demon.
And I'd also recommend Attack on Titan, but that's also like, they're little fighting giant like titans and stuff, and there's a ton of blood and violence. I'd recommend there's My Hero Academia, but like that also has fan service in it, which would be considered demonic. And then I'd recommend something like Demon Slayer, but guess what? Guess what the title is? Literally Demon Slayer.
So we need
So what do you recommend in that situation to a Christian?
We need something. We need to go the show.
We need help, guys. We need help.
Assassination Classroom.
Oh, maybe something like a sports anime that like if it's a sports anime that didn't have fan service in it, maybe something like that. But I haven't seen any. It's hard. Like,
let's see.
Little Witch Academia is also pretty safe for like. Oh, but they're witches! Literally witches! Yeah. You can't escape from it. It's like, there's gonna be demonic stuff, like, no matter what. Okay. I'm kind of sad that Hunter x Hunter won't end. It's so good that God himself had to nerf. I'd recommend Hunter x Hunter, maybe. But, like, it depends on whether you see, like, the powers like Nen and stuff as demonic. And there's also violence in there at some parts, so...
I'm saying I'm gonna go with Assassination Classroom could possibly work.
But even then, I feel like a Christian family would see that and go, "Oh wow, they're encouraging murder. That's not good."
But they're using BBs, so people should, if they actually watch, they'll know.
Yeah, but you gotta understand that like they aren't the tolerant type. Like if they see something that kind of encourages violence, then it's like it's gonna be the same thing. It's the same kind of thing where a parent sees a kid playing a shooting game and stuff like that. He'd go, "Oh yeah, shooting is bad, so don't play shooting games."
He's screwed, man. He's
I'm
screwed.
sorry, man. You're just screwed.
I don't watch sports anime. Maybe Dr. Stone. Yeah, Dr. Stone could be fun. Maybe.
But that encourages science. Wouldn't that also be considered anti-Christian?
I don't know. It depends. If he's like the old-fashioned Catholic.
Yeah, it depends how old-fashioned they are.
But if he's not, I think Dr. Stone could work.
Dad, okay. High School DxD? Yeah, that's the real one that you should be showing to your dad. Oh, no. Studio Ghibli anime. That's... No. Studio Ghibli. Nichijo's Kyoto.
Also,
Ghibli stuff like...
That's, what's it called? What's that movie called? Everyone knows.
Your Name?
No.
A Silent
Ghibli,
Voice? Oh, My Neighbor Totoro. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stuff like... Okay, I actually recommend movies. Anime movies. Stuff like A Silent Voice, Your Name. I feel like those are pretty Christian safe, actually. And same thing...
I got one, and I think you're going to agree. Hina Matsuri.
Oh! Yeah, that actually
hit him with the wholesome.
Yeah, that is you gotta hit him with the whole. But here's the thing: Hinamatsuri is great, but it also depends on their sense of humor. Like, because when it comes to comedy and anime, it's a pretty slippery slope. Because if they don't find it funny, I feel like it's kind of all over. You know, like it's a bit hard. But if maybe not Hinamatsuri as your first ever anime, that's a bit hard like to watch as your like first anime ever. That's more of like an experienced anime watcher thing. So okay, okay. Odd Taxi, that's a good anime and it's safe for the most part. Like that's not a good introductory anime. It's a very strange show.
If we want to make him depressed, we can make him watch Real Life and make him re-question all his life decisions as a father.
Maybe something like Toradora? Toradora might not be bad. Depends on your tolerance on like nudity and stuff like that. There's not much nudity in Toradora, but there are a few like, you know, jokes like that here or there. Yeah, so yeah, but Ghibli is probably your safest option. Stuff like My Neighbor Totoro, Spirited Away, definitely that. Oh my god,
that's what I was thinking of.
It depends on if you consider spirits and stuff like that demonic, because it's like, you know, if it goes against the religion and stuff like that, like.
I'm just thinking of slice of lives, like Arahasan. That could be one. Komi can't communicate.
I'd probably recommend movies though, like something like A Silent Voice. I feel like something like A Silent Voice is like basically. You can't go wrong with that, I don't think. Because, like, you know, suicide is a very real thing, and it discusses those types of topics. But I don't think that's something that's taboo to Christians. Like, that's just, like, a real thing.
That would be awkward, though, to watch with your parents, though.
Really? I mean, I showed it. It's a drama, though. I showed it to my parents, and there was no awkwardness at all. It was just a really well-written movie. I mean, I don't know. It's... Okay, see you, Laura. KK, full day of adulting, so I'm falling asleep. I wish you all a radically awesome weekend. Good night, guys. Thank you, Laura, for joining. Okay, Odd Taxi, yeah. Odd Taxi and Blue Lock are good options, but, like, I haven't seen Blue Lock, so I can't say. But, yeah, because that's the thing also. Because even if it isn't technically demonic, if it encourages a message that Christian parents might see as not good, because, like, Blue Lock very much dives into, like, the ego thing and, like, you know, being the best above everyone else and stuff. And so does Attack on Titan, actually, like, because I feel like a lot of people would see that and go, oh, this encourages violence, this encourages this and that, even though it doesn't, but that's more of a subtle thing that's interwoven into it. So, and it's easier to take it at face value and go, oh, it encourages bad messages and bad morals and stuff. So, oh, Spy Family! Oh yes, how could I forget? I feel like Spy Family is like definitely a safe option to show to Christian parents, actually. Spy Family is also, and especially for like new anime goers, you can't go wrong with Spy Family either. Spy Family is also a good recommendation. Okay.
You know what? We should just pull the rug out from under him. Devil was a part-timer. Pull it out from under him.
I haven't seen that, so I wouldn't know.
Have the devil working at McDonald's, then he'll go, okay, I see.
I see. Dude is screwed. Full Metal Alchemist. Yeah, you could recommend Full Metal Alchemist as well, but it's got that entire science against God kind of thing that's going on. Like literally, like the second literally what happens in the first episode of Full Metal Alchemist is that there's this girl who's super devoted to religion, and she starts to see the lies behind it, and she has this entire disillusionment thing. So if I feel like if you were to show that to a Christian parent, that'd just be like bad, because it's basically showing them as like, oh yeah, Christianity full of lies and stuff like that. They're just gonna look at that and go, bruh, really? It's like, I don't like the show. And yeah. So yeah, I generally I just go with Studio Ghibli. Was like,
yeah, I think we did our best on this one, but
we did our best. Evangelion, hell no. Evangelion has Christian symbolic themes in it, sure, but it also has nudity and a lot of weird disturbing stuff in it. So, and like angels and stuff and demons, like yeah, I think the safest bet is to see what your dad enjoys in other media, then tries to find anime that match it. That is definitely it. Like it's hard to tell depending on what your dad is able to tolerate, stuff like that. Like what is it that your other stuff your dad is okay with, and then kind of go from that and find an anime equivalent of something that has these things that he'd be okay with. Yeah.
Ooh, actually, if he wants to, he can dip his toe in by watching the Star Wars anime.
Ooh, yeah. Star Wars Visions. That could be good.
Just dip the toe in and see how he feels towards anime.
Yeah. I would probably recommend, like, anime movies as the best bet, though, to introduce new people. Studio Ghibli, Your Name, A Silent Voice, something like Wolf Children as well. That's also a really good watch. Just as a film goer in general, you don't need to know anything about anime to, like, enjoy and watch those movies. So, yeah. New evil idea. Force your friends to watch Redo. Brandon, you have some kind of Toradora addiction, bro. Cowboy Bebop is also... Yeah, Cowboy Bebop might also be a good option if like your dad's okay with like drugs being shown on screen and stuff like that. But like it feels very movie-like as well. It feels very Western type of story. So he might be okay with that. Yeah, and the plot is similar too. Like they're both bounty hunters, kinda. Yeah, it does. I can see the similarities. Okay, Kaguya. Maybe Kaguya, but there's like, you know, some sex stuff in there here and there. It depends.
No. Depends. He may actually appreciate the innocence of Kaguya and thinking the first time means first kiss.
Yeah, maybe. But there are also a lot of sex jokes and stuff. Like it depends. It might be a bit uncomfortable to watch that with your parents. Yeah, if he's watching Mandalorian, he should be fine with action. Yeah, action should be fine. It's just hard to find an action show and stuff that also has these other things that, like, you know, aren't in it. Oh, Mushi Ishii. I have a very Christian parents and they like the show. Okay, cool. Okay. Brandon, haven't seen Devil as a Part-Timer? Yeah. Yeah, they literally fight God in Full Metal. Yeah, it's like, is this like an anti-Christian thing or something? It's hard to tell because I haven't watched all the way through yet. But you know, it'd be a bit questionable for Christian parents, in my opinion. Yeah, okay. You will show them Your Name and they'll be hooked. I think they might like Your Name. Depends. It depends on also how tolerant they are to other like mystical stuff, like from other like, because like. If they're showing fantasy stuff, like spirits and stuff, or like other kinds of things, like if that's still okay with them, then that should be good. Yeah. Because like there's a lot of magic and fantasy stuff going on in anime. And some Christians would definitely take offense to that. Because it's like, you know, oh, there's only one religion and that's Jesus. So yeah. One Punch Man. Maybe. I feel like One Punch Man should be a solid option, but you'd probably need to watch like at least one other action anime to get the joke. Yeah, I feel like we've gone as much through as we can. Trigun is probably the best choice. It has overtly Christian themes in it. Oh, okay. Trigun doesn't seem that bad. I think 90% of anime. Trigun, yeah, it's one of those classic type anime. I think that 90% of anime should just be watched alone. Bro, I watched AOT in my living room and my mother couldn't care less. She just goes, don't do that in real life, okay?
I get mad at my sister because my 9-year-old nephews point out my tattoos and go, "Where's Levi?" And I'm like, "Why the fuck?"
Why do you know who that is?
They're 9 years old, and I look at my sister and go,
"That is bad." Like, how do you know what?
No, the worst part is they're like quoting the rumbling and all that, and I'm like, okay, this is recent.
No, you should not be knowing about this. Yeah, it kind of reminds me of how kids would know about Squid Game and stuff like that. It's like, bro, you should not be watching this show. What the hell? Why is this all over the kids stuff? Why are kids seeing YouTube shorts in it? Why do I keep hearing kids like making references in regards to Squid Game? You should not be watching this. It's just, yeah. Honestly, this would be my strat. Ghibli as an introduction, your name some other movie, then start going to shows like Trigun, Mishushi, or Cowboy Bebop. That's how I do it with my parent. Yeah, I agreed. That sounds solid, honestly. That seems like a flawless kind of thing that you can't really go wrong on. Even non-Christian parents, just like in general. Okay, so when will you play visual novels on stream like you said last year? I'm probably not going to. I already said this on the last visual novel stream that I did, which was the one on Danganronpa. I realized, yeah, visual novels take way too long to go through, especially to stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just not feasible for me. I'm sorry, because especially the more I go on, the more people drop off. Because like for new people to join, they're gonna need context, and you're not gonna get that. So yeah, unfortunately, I just won't be able to be doing visual novels because they just take so long to get through. What have you watched recently? Finished shows, not airing now. Okay. In regards to stuff that's like I've actually finished recently, not stuff that I'm catching up on. Because like right now I'm watching Mob Psycho, which I'm almost done with. Oshinoko, obviously. Konosuba, Megumin spinoff. Okay, in regards to anime that I also started Haruhi Suzumiya. In regards to anime that I just finished, I finished Mayochiki, which was like, you know, I liked them. I liked the cross-dressing butler girl, but like aside from that, the plot itself was like I had very mixed feelings on, especially considering how it's like a harem ecchi. So I was like, yeah, not really my thing. Hinamatsuri, I just like that. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, those are probably the ones that I finished most recently, and I talked about them, and they are awesome. I love both Hinamatsuri and Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and yeah,
I'm very behind. I'm only watching like 2 shows, and I'm still haven't even finished anime in a while.
Yeah.
I think the last show I actually finished was the one we talked about a few weeks ago.
Anohana? Yeah, you watched that recently.
That's the last one I finished, and that was a few weeks ago. Work's been getting me.
Yup. Yeah, that's fine. I was just watching voicing over Danganronpa 2 with some friends tonight already. These characters are so much fun. Yeah, I gotta say, it is fun to like voice act for like the visual novels and stuff. It's just fun. But like the problem is how long they are. If most visual novels were a lot shorter, then I'd 100% do them way more often on stream. But unfortunately, I cannot. Because like I was playing Danganronpa for like over 10 hours or something, and we still were barely just into the prologue. We were just getting started. It was like, oh man, this is gonna take forever. So yeah. Okay, Megumin is about accepting you and other people's dreams, and people have them. The obvious callback to love Chunibyo is for a reason. Okay. Hinamatsuri need a season 2. Absolutely. I want Hinamatsuri to have a season 2. It is such a goddamn shame that Hinamatsuri does not have a season 2. It deserves it.
It does. I agree. I want to know.
I want to know, man. Like it wasn't even complete. I want to see more. Okay, lads, I need to recommend you guys Mashal. I absolutely love it because of it's a One Punch Man kind of take. Yeah, it's still fresh. Oh yeah, Mashal's coming out this season. That one actually seems pretty fun. Has Brendan watched Isekai or G-san? It's honestly one of my favorite Isekai. I have not, but it seems, you know, it seems like the sort of thing that I might watch for an Isekai at least. It's more time to balance the character dialogue for VA, so it works out for me on average, but I understand that. Yeah, we need a season 2 for Hinamatsuri. I might even just make a video on it and just complain about how we're getting all these crappy sequels for stuff that nobody asked for, like Rent a Girlfriend.
Quiet.
And
I know what you're gonna bring up.
Smartphone Isekai, baby! We got a Smartphone Isekai season 2, but not Hinamatsuri? Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable.
No, we needed a smartphone season 2.
We did not need it.
Society needed that to grow.
God. Have you watched Suzume yet? In my opinion, it was visually even prettier than Your Name, but the story fell a bit flat at times. I need to watch Suzume. It's not something that's like I'm super interested, honestly. Like, it should be. I think it's in theaters, but like, I might just watch it for the theater experience. I want to watch more anime in theaters, honestly. I watched my first ever anime in theaters when I saw the Kaguya-sama movie, and I thought, this is fantastic. This is great. I want to watch more anime in the movies, in the theaters.
I've never seen an anime in the theaters.
It's a different experience. I really like it. Okay. Yeah, so if I do watch Suzume in theaters, it'd be purely because I want to see more anime movies in theaters. It looks interesting enough. I like Your Name, so you know, I'd probably watch Suzume as well. Are you looking forward to the new Spice and Wolf? No, I'm not, because I haven't seen it. Sorry.
Yep, I haven't seen either.
My favorite type and only type of fan service is when they don't have one, instead a fun moment where they call back to earlier moments like Dragon Ball Super, where Goku uses an old technique that has been used in the last 20 years. You know, that's fine. That's fun. I love those. But it's similar to anything. It's when you indulge in that sort of thing, like, you know, what everyone's saying about Star Wars, where it's just relying on its entire story being fan service rather than just being a fun moment.
That was annoying.
Yeah, it becomes annoying when it's like our entire thing, we're just gonna have nothing but fan service, and like the story is just gonna be like, yeah, we're just gonna redo the same thing that we did already, and as the entire movie. But if it's a fun moment like that, that is absolutely valid, because I feel like there's some stuff that does that as well, where it's like one example of that is when they use the anime OP in the final fight. Like that not gonna lie, that is definitely fan service, but it is awesome whenever they do. Whenever they go into the final fight and they play the opening song, it is just pure bliss. It's just like, oh my god, this is great. I don't care how many times they do it in different anime. I like it when this happens. Okay, chat, stop bringing up interesting conversations. I want Brandon to get my question on us. I'll get to it.
We're not gonna finish this. It's already been going on for 3 hours. I gotta leave in like 10 minutes.
Oh man. We're just okay. Okay, what is your opinion on anime ending ruining the show entirely? I finished Wonder Egg Priority and what a ride that was. And yes, the ending is what people said, but the show itself is the story of your time. Yeah, it's a complex question for sure. It largely depends. For me, a bad ending, if it's bad enough, can ruin an anime for me. Especially if it like you look back and it makes the rest of the anime worse. Like based on the new information it might give you. But if it's something where like the rest of the show still holds up and the ending was just bad on its own, then yeah, you can still say that it was still a good show, just that the ending was bad. It depends on how much it makes the rest of the anime worse.
The Game of Thrones effect.
Yeah. Hey Brandon, I love your videos. I'm here for a little bit instead of submitting my micropio homework assignment, which is due in an hour. Oh, that's lovely. Maybe you should do that. Yeah. It is not worth it, my man. You should not be watching a Brandon stream. Some Brandon stream instead of submitting your homework. Please, like, is it possible to ban someone for a limited amount of time?
I could put him in timeout.
Put him in timeout for like 10 minutes. And
sorry, dude.
Sorry, dude. You need to submit your homework. Submitting your homework is important. Yeah, exactly what happened in Konosuba. They played the OP during the boss fight. Yeah, that was awesome. I loved it whenever they do that. Kill la Kill did the same thing. They're just like, yeah, boy, let's go. It's hype no matter what. Okay. Big buff sweaty old men are the best waifu.
No. It's a simple no. Move on.
No, just move on. I'm not gonna talk about it.
No taku. Move on.
Yeah, no taku.
Move on.
If one of the mods or admins was secretly like actually a femboy, who's your vote on? Okay, so
move on.
Move on. Okay, did you? I could.
Move on.
Just move on. Rem is more mid than
move on.
Rem is more mid than in another world of my smartphone. Based.
Nope.
Time to take a screenshot of this and hang it up on my wall. Okay, and it'll be in the background of all my videos. If God is all-knowing and he knows all past, present, and future, does that mean when he created Adam and Eve? I thought these were anime-related questions, guys. Why are we... Let's go gotten on to get into philosophy and religion. Kazuma and Aqua are like that one annoying friend group in the middle of high school cafeteria screaming at the top of their lungs.
I mean, he's not wrong. That's
He's not
true.
wrong. Okay. Favorite Discord mod / admin. I feel like that's like a question that's asking for trouble, so let's move on as well. In my opinion, Knights and Magic is one of the best mecha anime because of how accessible it is. MC is being infatuated with mechs makes me excited about mechs too. Ah, that's an interesting take. I haven't actually seen any mecha anime where the main character is actually obsessed about mechs, so I don't know.
I don't know. I don't watch mecha either.
Yeah, I've only seen like 2. It's Gurren Lagann and Evangelion. That's it. What's your favorite thing about the genius child actor who licks baking soda?
I thought it's because she could cry in 10 seconds flat.
Ding ding. Yes. Wait a second. What's going on in chat? Half of Game of Thrones is bad. You can't say AOT is the same thing because there's only a week last couple chapters. I haven't read it, but the comparison is ridiculous. Yeah. From what I've heard, Game of Thrones already started falling off like several seasons in as soon as they ran.
Fell off. I think it fell off really bad after season 6.
Yeah,
7 and 8
it was
bad.
a downward slope.
But
It just
8 was just
it's just that at
terrible.
at the very last season, that was when Game of Thrones like actually hit the yeah, this is trash. Nobody likes it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Game of Thrones definitely was on a slow downward slope though. There's a difference between a show that like has a kind of controversial ending where it was still good for most of it compared to like Game of Thrones where like as soon as it ran out of stuff to adapt, it just got worse and worse and worse before it finally dying at the end. Most femboy admin is definitely an otaku. It's not.
I didn't say it.
Probably hasn't, but has Brandon watched 86? Great show, and I think it makes a good argument for the ending of a show possibly being the most impactful and important part of the anime. Yeah, because endings can make a huge difference to me. Like, there have been several anime and stuff, or even shows that I've seen where I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is good, but then I watch the ending, and it turns it from a good show to a masterpiece. Like, that's how I felt towards, like, shows like Cyberpunk Edgerunners and Arcane. Is sometimes having that one of the absolutely amazing ending can propel a show to be an absolute masterpiece, even if I thought the rest of it was just good. That's actually how I felt about the first episode of Oshinoko as well, where like most of it was good.
Is this your new Konosuba thing? Like every time
Oshinoko, just like Oshinoko. Yeah, I'm moving on from Konosuba to Erased and then Oshinoko. You see, I have my different phases.
Next week, his next stream is gonna be a Aqua PFP, not Kazuma anymore.
Okay, but no, I have not watched 86. I was mostly disinterested in it because I knew it was gonna be like have mechas in it and be war focused. To be honest, I'm not really interested in that sort of thing. And even though I know that if I did watch it, I'd probably think it's good, it just doesn't intrigue me from an ideas perspective. So I could never actually get out of my way to watch it. Okay, I gotta be up early tomorrow, otherwise I would stay longer. Love your visit stream, Brandon. Have a good night. Thank you, Rocky, for dropping by. You've been here for a while anyway, so it is completely great that you were here for as long as you did. Thank you. By the way, I just want to say your editing and joke editing are so good. Thank you. I'm not gonna lie, I really enjoy doing that, just like making the jokes and stuff like that. They're so fun. Getting comedic timing and stuff. Okay, have you heard of No, I haven't heard of any of those shows. Directed by Ochi the Rock director and music by Violet Evergarden composer. Yeah, okay. I've never heard of that either. Tell me more about that in the comments. I'm back. Hello, medley of notations. Brandon, this sounds crazy, but in my class, the class was talking about anime, and out of any other anime YouTuber we're talking about, half the class was talking about your videos? Nah, wait, bro. I just don't believe this.
Brandon's fans don't exist in real life.
Yeah, what? Half a class talking about my videos? That just seems craziness to me.
Maybe one person would know, but not that many people. Sorry, Brandon.
No, I'm with you. Like, if that is true, that would actually blow my mind. Yeah, for real, they were talking about your Konosuba video.
Oh, that makes sense.
Wait, what type of class is this? Like, and what country are you in? Because like, I don't know. Maybe if it was in a more Asian country or something, like where like anime is even more mainstream than it is in the West, then I suppose that might be possible. But yeah, sorry, I can't hear anything. I think it's just a connection issue, but no matter. Yeah, I'm in Southeast Asia. Yeah, okay. Wait, so like, okay, Southeast Asia. That makes a lot of sense, because like, I don't know. I'm not very knowledgeable about all of Southeast Asia, but I know about the Philippines, and I know that Filipinos love their anime. So that is actually pretty crazy to me, man. That is cool as, especially considering that I'm not exactly one of the bigger YouTubers out there. I'm almost about to hit 69,000 subscribers. Nice. But yeah, like. Sometimes I lose perspective a little bit, because like, wow, now that I think about it, 1 million views is a lot. That means a lot of people would have seen it. But yeah. Yeah. That is cool as, man. Okay. 69. Okay, wherein Beyond Journey is gonna blow up when it releases. It's a story set after the hero defeated of the Demon King, of a mage elf who has outlived the hero's party. Very melancholic. Ooh, I think I've heard of that. Someone brought that up in the Discord server. Sounds cool.
That does sound good.
Yeah. Genius child actor who licks baking soda though? Yeah, best girl. I'm definitely going to be simping over her for a little bit after the anime fully adapts Oshinoko. Are you what?
How many are left? How many questions are left?
Oh, we're near the bottom. That's nice.
Alright, we gotta speed run him.
You gotta speed run. Are you an uncultured swine? Yes. Cobra Kanner VTuber plays Hogwarts Legacy. Big deal on Twitter. The fans of her are legendary and basically secured the queen. What does that mean?
I don't know what that means.
I mean, I heard of the drama, but like, yeah, it was bad. Whenever someone, it's like, bro, really, the drama sucks. Twitter sucks. But yeah, I hope she had a happy ending. Best anime this season, in your guys' opinion?
Dog anime.
Exclude. That was last season. This season.
I don't know.
Bro, how am I supposed to answer that question? Oshinoko is like, yeah, and the anime season just started, so it's a bit hard to tell if like everything only has like 2 episodes out so far.
Fine. Besides that, the only other one I'm watching so far is Tonikawa. So I guess I have to go with Tonikawa.
So for me, I'd have to say the Megumin one, but like that's it. That's the only like other one that I've seen.
Process of elimination, because I haven't watched a lot.
It's just by process of by process of elimination. That's it. Like, if I had to guess, like, for some of the stuff that I haven't seen, there's stuff like Mashal and Tonikawa as well. Those seem nice. There's just not a lot to choose from right now. Maybe Skip to Loafer. That one seems decent. Definitely not Isekai Smartphone Season 2. Nah, bro, there's nothing else. It just hasn't been enough time. It's just started. Yeah. Okay. Don't worry, you have one response to this questions list for every 1,000 subs. That's an achievement. Okay, best girl Kana for real. For real. You're gonna see it over the next couple of weeks. People. There is, I mean, it's already starting to happen, and she's like had 1 minute of screen time. As soon as the story starts focusing on her more, you're gonna see it everywhere, all over social media. People are gonna be simping everywhere.
I'll be the judge of that.
Yeah. You're probably not gonna like her. You'll probably just think Akane's better, and that.
I don't know who Akane is, but you know what? Let's sure.
Yeah, I can see it. I can definitely see it. Okay, you'll know by the end of the season anyways, so yeah.
Alright, well, I'll tell you at the end of the season who best girl is.
Yep. And Notaku, unsurprisingly, chose the MILF character.
Yeah, he chose the
mom. Understandable, she is good. But yeah. Okay, you should definitely watch Mashal. I love it. Yeah, can't wait for anime onlys to meet Akane and switch teams. Nah, they're not gonna switch teams. I read through the entire manga, and I'm still Team Kana. Akane is actually, not gonna lie. When I first saw Akane, she kind of like, I just didn't like her, And it was only later on when I started to see why people might like it. I was like, oh, okay, I kind of started seeing it. But when she was first introduced, I was just like, I don't get the appeal at all. Hey, Brandon, can you put some Subway Surfers under the screen? I'm starting to get bored. Well, too bad. This is if you don't have enough of an attention span without the Subway Surfers at the bottom of the screen, you deserve to be bored. Yeah,
yeah, I have to leave now, Brandon.
Okay, see you, darkness. We only got a couple questions left anyway, so we're probably gonna end the stream after this. Hey, Brandon. Okay. Yeah, she was a biatch in the first episode, but she made up for sure. That's what's so great about her. She had that development. It was great. Okay, Bow to the Rock. Already made an entire video on it. No need to keep talking. Bleach. No opinion. Haven't seen it. Do you agree both the animation and art of anime deserves to be distinguished from one another, or is it safe to concede the two so long as we don't forget to separate frames from stills in general of anime? I mean, if you're appreciating both, that's fine. But if you're bringing up examples of bad animation and you bring up stills, then that is complete. Yeah, it should definitely be separated there, because like that's not what animation is. Because like I see parts where people get a still frame of a smear frame, which is literally supposed to look that way so the motion looks good, and use that as an example of bad animation, which is just wrong. Bad animation there's plenty of examples of bad animation where if you just took a screenshot of it, it doesn't look as bad. It's because it's about the motion. But yeah. Okay, is video game based like anime like Toho and Nier Automata ever be able to good enough, if not amazing, compared to the source materials? If they aren't, what could they improve? That's a very difficult question, and I'd need to go into an entire stream in that again. I should probably be taking notes on that. Like, I'm going to... Okay. Video game-based anime. I'll take a screenshot of this, so I can save that for later. Same thing with the one up here, so I can return to that at a later date, because there was like... Because again, that's an entire stream on its own. Yeah, this one. Okay. Almost done. Okay, how to tell between similar named characters, i.e. Himiko and Himiko, and how to tell between anime stereotypes for main protagonists is Ryuji and insert another casual anime dude. No. First off, Ryuji is not like that at all. He has personality. But in regards to how to tell, I'd just say that comes with experience. That just like, if you can't tell what the anime stereotypes are, then that's kind of a blessing, because that means you're able to enjoy it more without feeling like it's relying on tropes. Whereas with similar named characters, sorry, that's just on you, bro. Okay. Wait, Toho has an anime? Yeah, this is my first time hearing of that as well. I kind of zoned out working on my homework and then heard the screenshot sound. Won't lie, it freaked me out a little bit. Wait, everyone heard the screenshot sound? I didn't hear anything. Okay. Smart, using viewers' ideas to get more viewers and getting more viewer ideas. Yeah, you know what happened last time I did that? The last time I did that was the submit with the hot take streams, and a lot of them were getting really terrible. So, you know, if you guys have any stuff that you want me to do like an entire stream on, like with a PowerPoint presentation and stuff, and talk about fully, then please let me know, like in chat right now, or even comment below after the stream's over. Bro is still streaming? Yes, I am. Bro, have you seen Summertime Render? No, I have not, but I am really interested in it. I am interested in that kind of thriller type anime. Okay, not even being sarcastic, do you know about any Aussie anime from your little country? Nope. I didn't even know those existed. I didn't think Aussie anime is a thing. I just know Aussie cartoons are a thing. But yeah. Some anime critics have stated their opinions as to why season 2s plus don't always happen for our favorite anime, be it production costs or canon decisions. What do you think? I think it just really boils down to popularity and how much money it's making. If it makes money, it's probably going to get a season 2. Even if it takes a while, it's going to get a season 2 if it's super popular and they know it's going to make money. Like, Attack on Titan Season 2 took ages to come out, but that's just because of behind-the-scenes circumstances that they couldn't control. But as soon as Attack on Titan blew up, they knew they had to keep going with Attack on Titan, even though they didn't originally plan to. So I really think it just comes down to popularity, budget, and money. That's honestly it. Unless there's some sort of other like controversial thing happening behind the scenes and stuff, but like that's not really a blanket term that you can go over it. It's just something that happens, like completely like on an individual basis. Anime memes, they suck. Anime needs to do better with their memes, man. Okay, you should definitely make a stream where you talk about anime for this season so people could share their opinion. Maybe. I feel like that'd be ignoring all the people who don't watch seasonal anime. And I don't like watching a lot of seasonal anime either. I'd prefer to wait for it to be finished, and then I binge it. Sometimes anime are popular in America, but not as popular in Japan, so they don't get another season. Yeah, that's true as well. Seasons 2s don't happen sometimes because a lot of anime are only made to advertise the source material. That is also true. But in the situation where they get like super popular, then I generally find it like, unless there's some kind of problematic thing about it that like makes it difficult for the studios to adapt it, they're gonna adapt it, like purely because it made money. Yeah, sometimes anime don't sell enough Blu-rays. Fun fact, AOT Season 2 was delayed because he wanted to get further in the manga and treat the anime as a way to fix some things he couldn't do in the manga. Okay, yeah, but what really happened was that the studio behind Attack on Titan, they just weren't planning to make more seasons of it. So they had this entire lineup all ready for them to adapt all these different shows. So when Attack on Titan Season 1 unexpectedly blew up, they went, oh dang, we gotta make Season 2 of this. But we have all these other anime that we gotta adapt first. So because of that, by the time they finally got around to Attack on Season 2, they just like a lot of people, it was a long time because they had to do they already assigned on to all these other shows. So yeah, and then after that they continued on a bit more of a reasonable pace and stuff because they knew how popular it was. But like it wasn't intentional for them for the wait to Season 2 to be that long. That was just the studio not realizing how popular Attack on Titan was gonna be. Yeah. The anime of AOT was also used to foreshadow events in the manga. Yeah, that is true. That is true. And they changed some stuff as well that like Isayama wanted to change. Okay, that's all for me, Brandon. LMAO. Stay awesome, and my bad if too many more questions from other otakus come in. I only sent a consecutive 5 to 6 of my own this stream in case I needed the VOD later on, just for your information. P.S. One more question. What is your favorite fantasy or of another world anime currency/money type? Okay. What is your least favorite serious trope of anime? Okay. In regards to currencies, I legitimately do not care. The currency is a currency to me, so it's just like whatever. I suppose, yeah. And they're just all the same to me, so I can't choose. But in regards to my least favorite serious trope in anime, I kind of already talked about that. It's misunderstandings. Those really annoy me. Either that or something like... Yeah, probably the misunderstanding trope or like, but yeah, that's honestly it. Wait, so AOT Studio is Marvel? Is that what happened with them? Okay, which studio did not want to be known as just the studio who made AOT, which is why they created other projects like Vivi and Osama Ranki. Exactly, they didn't just want to be the Attack on Titan studio. It was completely unintentional. And that's also why they were so willing to give up Attack on Titan to MAPPA, because they were just like, no, we wanted to work on other stuff. We don't want to be the Attack on Titan studio. And honestly, it was good that they made a decision when they did, because that was the best time that they could hand it off to another studio. Yeah, currency in anime is very rare. They just basically use coins. Exactly. Alright, time for me to get some sleep. If I stay awake any longer, my eyes will fall out. This was a wonderful stream apart from me getting timed out by darkness, and that wasn't very wonderful. Yeah, there's one show to recommend. Osama Ranking is a must watch. Okay. Okay, have a good night, Sabertooth. Yeah, it occurred to me that there's a lot of people watching this who is just like in the middle of night for a lot of people. So sorry about that. Here's a stream idea. Ban appeals. I swear this isn't because I'm banned. Seems like a fun idea. What does that mean? End of stream anyways, I think. Yeah, we're pretty much at the end of the stream. Goodbye, Sabertooth. Don't talk about holes again. Yeah, that one was deserved, man. Anyways, we're basically done with the stream. Lost Source, what do you mean by that? Ban appeals. Osama ranking is so good. I love the second opening. But yeah. Okay. Lost Source, if you can't type all that in time, just comment it below in the VOD and I'll see it. Okay. Anyways, thank you guys so much for joining the stream. We're pretty much done here. It sucks to be non-Australian. Sleep losers. I think it's where you see ban appeals in your Discord. Yeah, just comment it down below. Explain it fully, properly. And yeah, obviously recommend more shoujo anime if anyone knows any in the comments below. Stuff like that. Anyways, yeah, see you guys next time. And thank you for joining the stream. I'll be back next week. Goodbye. It was a nice stream while I was here. Might tune in for the next one. Thank you. Thank you guys so much for joining. Bye.